3, 2, 1.
Oh
Explodes.
shit! She said it. All right, let's see if this worked. I'm on the Facebook. I know this is a very inequipped way to start it, but
I'll share it if it's going on too.
yeah. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
make
see,
sure.
I'm
Look
at
this guy on
20%.
Facebook. So
What do you
I'm
know
at
about Van Halen?
26% already.
BB wants to comment
all right.
about Van Halen.
yeah, we are live. It's on there. All right, cool.
You want to be on?
So,
You want to be on TV?
everybody on Facebook, bear with us like 1 second. So we got it on here. We're
I want to
live.
see if
It's
those other
working.
earbuds are just the regular ones like this that have the new school is in that drawer that on the far right of our dresser.
Oh, that's fine.
You're not live yet, right?
I think
No, we
they
are
just
live
went
right now. We are live.
We're live right now.
The whole world is listening to us.
All right,
The whole world is watching and judging.
And
All right.
judging. And
Oh, damn, those things are already gray. Hell yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in. It's been a long time no see. I think 2 months since the last episode. So this is going to be a fun one tonight. Appreciate you tuning in.
I appreciate when you have it kind of like, it's not like, it doesn't have to be a regular thing. Why not do it every 2 months? Who cares?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's your rules. You can
It's
do
the
it
kind
all.
of work. It's kind of work ethic I'm trying to instill in myself.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's my work ethic.
It seems to be working. So it's, whatever gets you to the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Well, there
Exactly.
you go.
Well, cool. For anybody that's listening to the audio, can't see, I got Mr. Philip Shouse from Ace Frehley and Accept. And then we got Mr. Todd Kerns from every band in the world.
Damn it.
Yes.
That's
That's the name of my new
Myles
project.
Kennedy. Yeah,
The name of my new project is Every Band in the World. It's gonna be
nice. Perfect. It'll sell 1 million albums.
I love those
Yeah.
guys. They're great.
good. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Well, you guys are in
Guys
it,
rule.
so it works out well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Perfect. That's what this whole thing was, an announcement for that.
By the way,
for every band in the world.
where's my royalty check?
Don't expect that. That's not going to happen.
That's
It's
right.
asking
It
for
is
the
modern
royalty
day.
check. Yeah, there
This
we
is
go.
the age of streaming.
The music business. It's not about that anymore. We do it for
It's
the
not-
fun
it's-
and the exposure. But think of the
it's not-
exposure, Chris.
Think of the.
It's not called Music Friends.
Music business. That's right.
That's great. And finally, we got Mr. Christopher Williams from Accept as well. Grilling
1, 2
out.
barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
1,
And
2
his grill.
barbecue. Look
Yeah.
at that. Ready to go.
There we go.
Love
Let's-
it.
We just
Love
want to talk about what you're going to be doing with that instead of Van Halen. So
Chicken tandoori, baby.
perfect.
Mm,
Nice.
smoking it.
Well, cool. So before we get started, what's everybody been up to here recently? I know everything's kind of going back to normal. What's everybody got coming up here?
Well,
Phil.
I've got some chicken that's
Chris.
about to go on the grill.
It's the most important of anybody's. Actually,
I've been cooking a lot, as you can see.
I
Nice.
love it.
You
I
know,
love
same old, playing music, all that.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Very
start
cool.
rehearsals next week, I guess, for Accept. We got a couple Accept shows coming
Yep.
up in July.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going with Accept?
We're doing Pennsylvania. and
M3. Yeah.
Oh, M3. That's a good one.
Yeah.
My first time.
I'm jealous.
I'm excited. I've, closet band, whatever. I don't, everybody says you're guilty pleasure. I'm not even guilty of it. I just love Winger. I love
Sure.
Winger, and I've never seen them. So I'm so excited. They're playing right before us on
Oh,
the day.
nice.
So I'm gonna get dressed early and warm up, do all that, and just go hang out on stage for a couple hours before we
I
play.
jammed with Kip a couple times before I ever saw him play in Winger, and
Right.
he's an awesome dude and he's really talented, and then you get to see him do his thing and you're like, oh wow, I kind of forgot he's a big dog. He's
He's
the
Kip
real
Winger.
deal.
Yeah.
Well,
He's Kip Winger.
the-
Yeah, exactly.
The first clinic I ever went to, long before I was sexually active. No, the first.
And I'll never go to that dentist again.
That was the worst dentist ever, man. My butt was sore for a month. No, the first drum clinic that I ever saw was Rod Morgenstein back
wow.
in, I think it was 97, maybe. They were just finishing the Rudis Morgenstein project. Like it
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
even released yet. So
Crazy.
I got a copy of his book and the 2 cassette tapes that accompanied it. So back when
Cassette
those were
tapes.
still
Wow,
a
that puts
thing.
it- I was going to say that puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Too much
It was
perspective.
great.
Too much fucking.
Too much fucking perspective.
What are cassette tapes? No,
Oh,
Janine-
yeah. He can
Janine-
actually ask that question.
Janine can tell I've been eating too much sugar. She says my larynx is getting fat.
The direct quote. We could
Yep.
do this all night. Don't get me started.
That's
Oh,
great.
dude.
Winger
My-
is great live, and I mean they still pack the place out too. My first show with Whiskey A Go Go was opening up for those guys, and you know they
Oh,
were
yeah.
fantastic. So it was a kick ass night.
I got to do that.
Wow.
I got to do the Spinal Tap thing real quick. I have a Nissan Pathfinder that, you know, some people name their cars or whatever. Mine is Nigel because the official color code in the Nissan catalog is called Super Black. So how much more black could my Pathfinder be? And it's none more black.
None more black.
So it's
Exactly.
it's Nigel.
That's
That's
amazing.
actually a really great band name too, Super Black.
Super
Super
Black.
black. That is good.
Dibs.
Dibs.
That's okay.
That was the
I'll edit
that
his
was the
dibs
name of the
out,
album.
too.
That's the name of the album for every band in the world.
That's it.
Super Black.
Super Black. Well, that's what everybody wears on stage and to photo shoots. So, you know, may as well.
Well, it is
roll with it.
slimming. It's slimming.
You know,
So that's the-
Same thing with photo shoots too. The first one to smile gets kicked in the nuts. So
Except in our band, we're the most smiling band in heavy metal.
exactly.
love
So, gentlemen,
I
what have you been
appreciate
up to?
Brandon Fields, what have you been up to?
We got these.
Dyeing your hair and getting a
yeah.
new nose.
We got
and you've
these
got
things,
vinyl.
and
Wow.
Records out.
You're asking what a
did-
cassette is, but you have a vinyl record right there. I appreciate
these
that.
these just showed up. I don't know where they came from, but
Do you
know,
guys got
so-
Laserdisc? Do you have
Yeah,
Laserdisc
Laserdisc.
coming out or 8-tracks?
That's
We're trying
funny.
to find all
Real.
the dead formats. Yeah.
I didn't know what a laser disc was until like 2 years ago. I had never seen one or known what it was until I went to see
Wow.
the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow. And my
Yeah.
my uncle brought his laser disc copy of Clerks, and Kevin Smith signed it.
Wow.
Even
Rad.
Kevin Smith was even like, "Is this a fucking laser disc?"
Dude, that's awesome.
Our laser discs were like as big as an album, weren't they?
Yeah,
Like a
it's
vinyl.
basically the same thing. Yeah, hell,
Yeah.
it actually might be a little bigger. Actually,
Oh, man, I
yeah.
think it's bigger than records. It was like a DVD that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's-
I knew even had a player. Like
No.
that was- they never caught on. I didn't even have a friend with one.
The
No,
last
I-
It was
the
like a-
last time I went to Japan, you know, there's a series of record shops over there
Yeah.
where Phil and I and everybody goes and buys the records. I got a
Oh, yeah.
copy of Kiss Extreme Close Up on Laserdisc
Oh, wow.
for like
No
12,
way.
12 bucks.
Wow.
I'm like, well, I'm buying that because, you know, it's a platinum album now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
that is
Was
Was
awesome.
Extreme Close Up? Extreme Close Up, is that the one like after Revenge, like around that era?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's right before they went on tour for Revenge.
Right. That's what it was. Yeah. That's a good one.
Was that
Yeah.
the one that had the Playboy cover? That was all photoshopped?
No, that was Exposed.
Oh,
That's
Okay,
exposed.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's like
Ex-
around Asylum. I think that one
I
came
want to say, yeah, because that had
Yeah.
Eric Carr. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Edit her out.
Edit her out. Yeah. Bruce Kulick.
Where's Bruce? Where's Bruce?
Edit
That's
her
great.
out.
Paul
That's
Stanley's
awesome.
doorbell.
Well, cool. Ace just texted me. He
Nerds.
said he's going to be on here in a second. So I think we're
Ace
about
Van
ready
Johnson.
Yeah, Mr. Ace Vaughn Johnson from the LA Guns.
I've got to be upfront here. I've never heard of or listened to Van Halen in my life. So,
Oh,
or Led
okay.
Zeppelin. So either way. So I'm just
Well,
kind of
you
going along
know-
for the ride here.
Well, you know, Gene Simmons discovered Van Halen.
And he
That's
was
true.
that.
And if you don't,
Van Halen in his presence.
yeah, if you don't believe him, just ask him. He'll tell
Just
you.
ask him. Yeah.
Just ask him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's all, yeah.
And Roth will tell you how there were never tickets backstage for him or Michael Anthony
Good show. That's right. Yeah.
because he was trying.
Really?
He was trying to get the brothers to join Kiss.
Oh
At
my
one point.
god.
They were friends, but yeah, as I come to the show, there'd be 2 tickets.
Two
That's
tickets.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
True story for those that didn't know.
Well, cool. That's
I
why
guess that would have been like, I mean, those would have been pretty major assets to have in your band, would be the Van Halen brothers. Come on.
Yeah. You know, that's when they were doing the Christine 16 demos and all that stuff.
got
Right,
love for
right.
sale.
When
That's right. Yeah.
when the other two were causing a ruckus.
Right. As will happen. Yeah.
Young guys.
Whenever
The-
they
the
announced
other
that
guys.
the Gene Vault, the thing I specifically would have bought the entire thing just to hear those tracks with Eddie and Alex playing.
That was like the elusive holy grail. I mean, there was no
Right.
way to hear those before that came out.
yeah, it's,
Totally.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And they're cool. The Christine 16 is note for note. Like
Yeah.
the final guitar solo is what exactly Eddie played. Like
And
That's so
There's-
weird.
There's
Gene
a
made the
couple
comment,
like
go ahead.
minor tweaks on it, but yeah.
yeah, the main idea is there. Yeah.
Well,
So
Gene made the
you're saying
comment that
that-
he made Ace. He's like, much to Ace's dismay, I made him copy that
Made
solo
him learn
note
it.
for note. But it's not like, it's actually not even like a, a like real intricate thing. It's not
No.
like Eddie being fucking Eddie, you know.
I was going to say that's a very
Yeah.
subdued Eddie Van Halen solo.
That's-
It's just a
Yeah.
That's Eddie tuning up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's just what the guitar sounds like.
We recorded that. That's great. It sounds great.
Yeah, he's like,
great.
okay, let me try the solo. It's like, oh, we got it. Thank you.
We got
We're
it.
good.
We
We're
did
good.
it.
Yeah.
Here's your check and 2 tickets.
Tell the singer to stay home and the bass player. Yeah.
We got those. Those are covered.
We're covered.
That's amazing.
So do you want to get into this without Ace?
I mean, Ace said he's going to be here, and he said I'll be there in 5 minutes, and
No
that
pressure.
was, he said about 5, and that was.
Have you got
That was
the
2
first and
minutes
second
ago,
album
so.
behind you on vinyl there too? Is that what I'm seeing?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I've got all the Roth ones on vinyl, and I actually scored. I wish I would have had it over here. They just put out it's like Van Halen live in Maryland. It's definitely not an official thing. It's called Hurricane, but dude, it's
Wow.
them playing like Romeo Delight and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's around,
Ryan has got a couple bootlegs on like newly released bootlegs too that sound. I think one's in London, one's Hammersmith.
Wow.
78, and then there's another one, and they're both around the same time and really good quality too. They sound awesome.
Cool.
yeah, the one I've
Oh,
got
too, yeah.
would have been Women and Children first tour because they were doing a lot of stuff.
They
off
used
that.
to open with Romeo's Delight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did
Even
that.
on even on Fair Warning, they opened with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did
The,
On Fire
US festival.
sometimes, open
Well, I mean,
with
it's a
On Fire.
killer opener.
Yeah,
It is.
Super high energy, man.
Super energy, yeah. In fact, Women and Children First is one of my favorites. In fact, on occasion, it is my favorite. It's the first one that I actually bought with my own money. I was too young to really, like, the first 2 albums were kind of like there was guys smoking in the pit outside school with Van Halen on their jacket. Those guys, you're like, whoa, those guys are scary.
The
And
cool
then
kids.
later on, yeah, like those, and then ultimately there'd be somebody with like a Zeppelin thing or a Motorhead thing, all those guys, But Van Halen struck me as being very frightening until, well, they understandably they were, a heavy rock band, so they didn't fool around.
Give me Van Halen or give me head.
Women and
I
Children
believe
First
that's
is like Roth's record. I think that's what Dave is absolutely phenomenal on that record. I
Yeah.
think-
oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Diver Down is Dave's first solo album.
Yeah, we can do if we do half covers, they're already hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's do the Backyard album
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
totally.
we used to.
I'm
I'm
a
still
big fan of Diver Down, so that's
it gets a bit of a bad rap, but I still love that record, man.
Man,
Little
there's some
guitars,
great
little
There's some cool
guitars
stuff
alone.
on there.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff on there and some killer solos.
Oh,
Hang
absolutely.
'em High is my favorite Eddie Van Halen solo, so that's
It's
yeah,
definitely one of the
Secrets,
best. Yeah.
Secrets, little guitars, all the originals on there
Yeah.
are the cream of the crop. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
that was
they're great.
so good at that point.
I even enjoy the covers. I mean, it's
I'm not mad at the covers. Yeah.
They're great.
Dance in the Streets is great. You
Well-
can tell that Dance in the Streets have been playing it since a whiskey a go-go or something.
Was it
Yeah.
Dancing in the Street or Where Have All the Good Times Gone? That was the music was supposed to be an original one. They had Dave.
Dancing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I knew it was
He
one of
hated
those
that.
two.
Because he already had the keyboard thing done. He was going to write a song, and Ted's like, "No, let's do this song," and he did not like that.
Yeah, Ed was not feeling that, but it
Yeah,
happened.
And thus Edward built a home studio to
Yeah,
nip that in the bud.
exactly.
Well, hey guys, great album, good tour. We're never doing that again.
I'm gonna for myself.
Exactly. And they never
I've-
recorded anywhere else again. Pretty much.
I've got the 2-track.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, Phil, what was the
All
first Van Halen record you got? We'll just go ahead and cover that real quick before we get into
It was
this.
Van Halen 1.
Okay.
And I had a pretty unique situation because I heard it for the first time in 1988, 10 years after its release when I was 13. But I didn't listen to any music of the time. I couldn't have cared less about any of the bands. The Beatles were.
You mean Morris Day?
And yeah, number 13. Yeah, exactly. No more at the time for me. The Beatles were it. All I listened to. So when I heard Van Halen 1, it was like I heard it in 78 because I didn't hear anything that came after it. So I'm
Right.
really kind of grateful that I had that experience because it was just shocking.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't hear anything after. I didn't hear any of the the next generation after Van Halen. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know fast guitar playing was a thing.
Isn't that funny?
And so yeah, it was Van Halen 1.
That's
I remember
great.
being a kid. I remember being a kid and a car driving by with Eruption playing and not having any concept that was guitar at all. Like for a long time, I was like, it wasn't until someone pointed out, no, that's a guitar. We thought it was some sort of like synthesizer noise or something. It didn't make any sense to us. We're just like, wow, I didn't know anybody could make a guitar sound like that.
Yeah.
Now it seems pretty, normal, but at the time it was radical, revolutionary. You know what I mean?
It still
Yeah.
sounds like the future.
It
Like,
really does.
Yeah.
Oh,
You put that on and it still sounds like it's something down the road. Like
when it gets to the finger tapping part at the end of it, I just like see these like bright flashing neon lights, just just flashing everywhere. Still,
Yeah,
just like in my
totally.
head, like I did when I was like, yeah.
Totally, yeah. Actually, Van Halen 2 was one of the only records, because I listened to like rock and hard rock and punk rock when I was a kid, and my father just thought it was all nonsense. I just thought it was all noise. And then one day he's walking by my room and he goes, and Spanish Fly was playing from Van Halen 2.
Okay.
And he goes, what is this? I go, it's Van Halen. And he stops and he listens to the whole thing and he goes, that's pretty amazing. I can't remember how he said it, but I was like, yeah. And then it was like, whatever the next song is, I think it's Beautiful
DOA.
Girls. DOA.
DOA.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm out of here. Yeah. Yeah. But it was like, just for 1 second, he stopped and went like, wow, that's pretty impressive. And then, okay. Too bad that kid's wasting his talent on DOA or whatever it's called.
Such a waste. He could be playing in a big band somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing Segovia somewhere, something like that.
That's great. We just had Mr. Ace Vaughn Johnson from
Hey.
the LA Guns jump
Oh
in here.
shit! Look out!
Uh-oh.
What's
Here
up,
I
Ace?
am.
Woo!
Hi, everybody.
I'll
Nice
believe
to,
it when I see
There we
it.
go.
nice to see you
Indeed.
guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
There
hear
you are. How are you,
Coming
brother?
through loud and clear.
Yeah.
Sorry for being unfashionably late here. I forgot that it was 9 p.m. Eastern, not 9 p.m. where I am.
I know. I do
But
the
hey,
same thing.
at least, speaking of fashion, we match. So there's that.
Oh yeah, ball cap
We're
for
still
sure.
fashionable.
I've got mine on the wrong way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You do.
Around.
It's
flip around
actually
thing.
that's actually a design flaw.
Yeah,
You're
right.
meant to have it this way, so
It
you
goes
can
that way.
keep the
I
front
feel-
of your head.
I didn't want
clean.
to offend any of the kids with my
Yeah.
offensive middle
Oh,
fingers. and all,
this is
so-
on
There you go.
Facebook, so we
You
got
might end up
Yeah.
in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg won't
my
like
whole
that.
page is the whole page is canceled now.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get
Oh,
blocked
Lord.
now, for sure.
I gotta
How-
keep
how-
mine forward to keep these bright ass
How
lights
is
out of my
everybody?
face. So
I know I missed this already, but how is everyone doing?
it's
Great,
we're
great.
good.
Good to see you.
Killer.
Good
I
to
like
see
the
you
Danko
too.
shirt. That's a good.
Yeah, you
Danko
like?
shirt.
Yeah, look. What's
Yeah,
up,
it's
Danko
good.
Jones?
That's great.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
I'm wearing the La Studio shirt. I don't know if you remember. There's a place up in Canada that were like just like a bunch of the Rush records, and Synchronicity by the Police was recorded up there. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like you buy this shirt and they're putting money towards kind of like trying to put that place back together because it's
Oh,
been
nice.
abandoned and then
That's
put into
awesome.
some state of disarray. So I was like, oh, well, I have to
Nice.
have one. I just remember this being
That's
like a
cool.
big deal as a kid.
It was. And for those of
That's
you
great.
wondering, that's French for the studio.
This whole time, I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah.
That's
I'm
what
wearing
it- You're welcome.
I'm wearing the Dario t-shirt. That's
The Dario.
that's
Well, I'm saying,
Italian for
I've got a great shirt on. I'm
Jadario.
repping Mr. Philip Shouse's company, Mutt Merch.
Ah, those are
Nice.
the best.
Got the Arrow Sniff shirt on, and
I love
I
it.
fucking love Draw the Line. So when I saw the shirt, I was like, "There's no way I'm not getting that." So
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, man.
And you look wonderful in it.
yeah, well, good thing I can keep the camera up this high so you can't see my guts spilling out like pudding. So
Pudding. Pudding.
My shirts are also
with the
swimming.
apostrophe.
That's right.
I live in
No G.
Kentucky. I'm allowed to speak this way. So
Local yokel.
yeah, hey.
So how do we do this? What is
We
this?
can
We're doing Van Halen.
communicate.
We're
Yeah.
doing Van Halen 3, right? The Gary
Yes.
Sharon record?
Yeah,
I thought we were doing
Halen
fan.
1
I
plus
thought we
2.
were doing fair warning.
yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Fair warning versus
We'll all
Van
do
Halen
different
3.
records.
No,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do Fair Warning versus Van Halen 3. That'll be what this
You
I
mean
think
this
we're all
isn't
about to say
we're not
fair
doing
I win.
Danzig 1 versus Danzig 2? I'm out of here.
Now that's
Who?
one to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
That's that
Don't
short
don't
guy
even-
that got knocked out backstage, isn't it?
Don't even get me started on those records. Yeah, exactly.
That's the guy.
Careful.
There.
Oh,
Show
man.
up.
Don't
He's
say that.
angry.
Yeah. He might be small, but he's solid.
Mighty.
I'm going to be totally honest. When I was a kid, like seeing the music video for like Mother, I thought he was a big fucking dude. Like I thought that he was
Well,
like
he's jacked.
6'3", 6'4", and then it wasn't until I saw that infamous video that somebody was like, "Yeah, he's like 5'2", and I was like, "I've got a chance in this business, so let's get it."
He was in my friend's fantasy casting for the part of Wolverine in the X-Men. He always said Glenn Danzig should be Wolverine. And because Wolverine's supposed to be like kind of a small dude.
Yeah.
He kind of basically looks like Glenn Danzig.
That was fucking great. I'm never going to be able to get that out of my head.
They got
now.
a tall Australian guy
With the
instead,
knives.
so- yeah, exactly.
He negotiated with Marvel in the 90s. They were like taking talks. Like that was
I
gonna
think
be
I heard something about that. Yeah.
that
Is
was
that a
gonna
real
be like
fucking thing?
And I think that's what
No
led
way.
up to him getting cast in Prophecy 2 or whatever it was. It kinda
Right.
got
Right.
his acting bug going.
That
If
is
you look back at the
fucking
old comic
amazing.
books, you go, oh, okay, I kind of get it, because Wolverine's kind of a stocky dude and he's kind of wide and whatnot, like kind of like Harvey Keitel almost, like rather than the tall Australian cat they got, Hugh Jackman, who clearly did a wonderful job. We're not
Awesome.
You mean
Yeah.
you mean huge jacked man?
gonna- exactly, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
He did
yeah.
pretty
I got to give it to him. He went the extra mile.
Well, cool.
So Danzig 1, starting song 1. No kidding. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Here
So
we go.
it's going to get a little weird when we get to Spanish Fly. So if we put Eruption with You Really Got Me as one song, then there's 10 verse 10. And but it's going to make it weird for Spanish Fly, but it's the only way to make this work. So
I suppose in reality that was never really recorded as we've known it our whole life as the intro to You Really Got Me. I suppose it was recorded as a separate piece, wasn't it?
yeah,
He was just messing around.
Yeah.
He really,
they're like-
he was just kind of getting his thing together, and Don recorded. And,
Press, yeah.
and
God
done.
bless him.
Yeah.
God
Yeah,
bless
can
him.
you
That
imagine?
changed the world, man.
Yeah.
Changed everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
Well, we'll just typically
got
do it the
one-
same way, track versus
Where did I
track.
put it?
So I'm going to say, Todd, you should have that thing up front and center right now.
It's got a Kiss Cruise hat on it for some reason.
Nice.
It's
Very
right
cool.
there. There we go.
My
I'll have
shark
his fourth
hanging
one.
over there, and my
Well
other
done.
hanging in my office. So
Ooh, the shark. I got to get one of those, Daddy.
Oh wait. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Oh,
doing
look
that.
out. It's getting
We're doing
serious
that.
now.
Are we going to see
Well,
that?
put on,
Well,
are
one
you
of
going to
them.
put on
the
your
drum
leather
kit?
chaps?
No, well,
Yeah,
well, hold on. No, well, hold on. My 78 is out in the car because I use it
Uh-oh.
on gigs. But Van Halen
Whoa.
and my
Nice.
rolling pad, I striped it up too. I franked it.
Nice.
I actually have the quarter as well that I'm going to put on one of these control knobs. I just haven't done it yet.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I've got the
Nice.
black and white.
Quarter.
I've got the black and white one out in the car that I take down to gigs here in
Beautiful.
town.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Well,
Van
cool.
Halen.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to jump into this?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's the first track? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Opening tracks.
Oh,
Main Street.
yeah.
Yeah. I was
Main
say,
Street.
if you threw
All
that
right.
in there, that'd be
Main
even
Street.
tougher. Yeah. That's intense. So we got running with the devil versus
Versus the
running versus the devil. That is the right song. Hey, first show in 2 months. I'm allowed to fuck up. So plus I'm from Kentucky, so my communication is already fucked anyways.
You need a beer to level out your pH balance.
I'm working on it. So it's all that Kentucky tap water. I gotta dial it down with this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought that stuff was in your blood already.
I mean, they send out letters when we can and can't drink it. So
I think the Kentucky tap water is a lot darker than that beer. I think.
yeah.
Actually, the grass isn't blue, the water's blue.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
So you're gonna say
Let's see
Running
if
with
I
the
can-
devil
yeah.
versus
Versus the vein.
You're no good.
Yeah.
You want to go around the clock? How do you want to do this?
Phil, you go ahead and start it, and we'll go in the circle. I don't know if everybody's circle is the same, but Phil, just go ahead and start it.
Let's see. Well, okay. Another thing, but you're no good that was another thing Eddie had kind of written for a original that Ted took for that. And if you remember on the beginning of Tattoo, is the intro to You're No Good, because Eddie had
Right.
written that without that song in mind. I do really love You're No Good, and I love the guitar solo in it. But I am gonna go Running with. Are we voting? I'm gonna have to pull Running with the Devil because it's Running with the fucking Devil.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
said
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. For me, it's like it's one of the all-time best opening songs on an album ever. Period. I mean, like it's like you just kind of go like it makes such a statement to me. Like as a kid, you like okay, well back when we had we do have records again, but when I was a kid, you literally went put it on the record and it went bow bow. You know that the whole thing. You know the
Car horn thing first. The car horn.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
It
that
made
subway in Japan.
Totally, it made such a statement, and you know, and the chorus is just so like anthemic. It really, and the solo, although it's not one of Eddie's like ambidextrous kind of solos, it's really a memorable solo, and to me, it's picture perfect. It's one of the greatest songs of all time, let alone Van Halen.
absolutely. What about you, Chris?
No, I'm going with Devil for sure on that one. There's
Mostly,
no,
is it mostly
there's
because
no
of the devil part, like the
contest.
Satan part?
Satan. No. No, I mean it's just to me overall, it's a much stronger song. If we're going to talk about that level, if we're going to go to the songwriting level and how it hits you and impacts you, like it just kicks you in the ass. And then, of course, like Todd was saying, as a record opener, you go, okay, you drop the needle first time hearing it, and there's the car horn, and then it's just gone and boom.
Yeah,
it's like, what the hell is this? Okay,
totally.
Sold.
Yeah, not to knock You're No Good, because I mean, sorry,
No.
I know we've already done me, but this is really about me, so I'm just kidding. No,
Hey,
but
buddy.
it even starts with that kind of bass solo, blim, 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 like what's his name, Michael's doing this thing. It's
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, it's hard for me to really separate that, because that whole wave of Van Halen, like when you're a kid, you just start buying all those records and it seemed to all bleed together. But being able to separate them and look at them as separate entities, it's like You're No Good is so great, because you could tell it's one of those songs too that they probably killed in like at Gazzari's or something like that, 5 sets a night or something like that. And Dave sings the shit out of that song too.
Yeah, he does.
Interesting, if
But
I
it's-
may add real quick.
Yeah.
Fun to note, because I hadn't thought about this until you just pointed it out with Michael's bass solo. Michael Anthony opens the first two Van Halen records.
I just
That
realized
interesting.
that too. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
He's like
Hadn't
the
thought
unsung
about
hero
that.
of that band.
At least that's who was
He's
credited.
rolling around on the floor practicing his bass solo, and then they just press record or something.
On a Jack Daniels bass.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about you, Ace? Which one are you going with?
Well, I mean, it seems pretty unanimous at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, Running with the Devil is not only one of those songs that if you say Van Halen, I think not only myself, but most people, it would be one of the first maybe 5 songs that come to mind. Fantastic
Probably, yeah.
album opener. I mean, nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been said, but and then of course, the devil. I mean, whatever. I'm sure, what was that? 78?
Yeah.
I'm sure just having the name devil in a song title at that point in time was enough for people to like gravitate, or people like us to gravitate towards,
Yeah, it was pretty. That was pretty dangerous, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think in the late
That was
70s.
Flea.
Yeah.
Totally.
That was cool.
But
Yeah.
They harmonized so well. Like they harmonized the word
They
devil.
made-
Like
They made the devil sound heavenly.
They did.
Angelic, if you will.
It's like this riff, this monster riff, this guy scatting like a Vegas singer, and then you have beautiful harmonies.
This
baby,
car-
I'll tell you one time.
Yeah,
This
like all the great
horn-
things about Van Halen. It's like is in like it's if you get it in the first verse and by the chorus, you're like, oh,
I just got to give a shout out the car horn giving us the textbook definition of the doppelganger effect is incredible.
yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Which is also, I believe,
That's what
taken
that's
from
called.
it's from their demo, isn't it? Have you ever heard the demo of that song?
No.
Yeah, that was actually a thing that was actually
It's been a long time, but I've heard it.
Yeah,
Alex
it's
did-
on the demo.
Yeah, that was actually a piece. That was a real existing thing that they could take to the shows and play. So
Yeah.
somehow
Really?
they made this thing. Yeah, it wasn't a sample. I mean, it was tape manipulated down there, but it was actually a thing that could be pressed and that would make that sound. But yeah,
Cool.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that. Yeah, because I remember I
rad.
heard the demo and I remember thinking, well, they had that sorted out back then before they even went into Sunset. So who knows?
Well, I think it
Song
was
two.
Pretty unanimous on that. So song 2, we're gonna have
Hot for teacher.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
this
we're
is
jumping
love.
around here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dreams.
Eruption and You Really Got Me versus Dance the Night Away. Let's start it in the opposite direction. Todd, you take this one first.
That's really tough, dude. It's tougher than I thought it would be because I gotta say, well, first of all, Eruption is like you can't even. If it was if you were talking about Eruption by itself, it'd be no conversation. But it's like Eruption into the best thing about Van Halen is their ability to take cover songs like You're No Good and Now You Really Got Me and basically turn them into Van Halen songs to the point that no one really even goes like, no one listens to the Kinks version, really. I mean, I love the Kinks, but I always, it's like, well, some guys came along and like just really took that song up several notches. But that said, Dance the Night Away is one of those songs where I'm just going to talk this whole thing in a circle so I can try and figure out my own answer. I should have done this homework.
Somebody
Dance the
didn't
Night
listen
Away
to
is-
the records today.
I did not. I was like, I know those records. But Dance the Night Away is one of the perfect examples of what I love about Van Halen the most is their ability to be like shamelessly poppy. Like Dance the Night Away in reality has nothing to do with like On Fire or something like that from the first album. I'm On Fire. It just kind of strikes me as like two polar opposites that they were both amazing at. But I'm gonna have to give it to Eruption and You Really Got Me just because it's got Eruption attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. That's really tough. I mean, we've done this before on the Kiss ones, and everybody was like, "That's a cover song. We can't include that." That doesn't even. But I'm like, well, I don't know, dude. Van Halen are the king of cover songs when it comes to doing covers.
What? And then She Kissed Me or Kissing Time? Like, do we ever need to discuss either of those songs again? Like, it's
Yeah,
just-
I know. Those are
Can we
both
just
forgettable
not?
ones. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
2000 Man though. 2000 Man is an exception.
Yeah, but that's the exception.
Yes.
That's awesome. Ace, what about you?
Well, I mean, right out of the gate, I got to say, I mean, if you're including Eruption, That's it. That's like,
I
you know, lead guitar 101. Like you walk in a Guitar Center, and if they're not fumbling their way through Sweet Child, they're giving that one a go, especially if there's a Floyd Rose on it.
Or Sandman.
Yeah, or Sandman. I mean, like the next degree of skill set up. But if we were just doing, because they're both what Dance the Night Away is not a cover. No, if we were just doing Dance the Night Away versus You Really Got Me, I'd probably just the song alone. I'd probably over under go with Dance the Night Away.
Yeah,
but
me
if
too.
we're tacking Eruption onto it, which we, you know, makes sense. You know, Eruption, You Really Got Me, and I think Todd already touched on this, but like you're talking about them doing, you know, such a vast amount of covers, but you're right, they really made them their own. I really cannot think of a Van Halen cover where I think of the original first. Even the Kinks, I still think of Van Halen first. I mean, that is telling of their you know, talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, Christopher.
Man, I'm on the same page. If, again, it's already been said, but you know, if it wasn't for Eruption, then I'd go with Dance. I love that song. I love the feel, but you can't, you know, it's one and the same, Eruption and You Really Got Me. And when you not only have your, you know, your wig blown off by Eruption, you go into You Really Got Me immediately and you just, yes, like you're ready to party. You're like, the volume goes up 10, 30 decibels louder, whatever, and the neighbors hate you even more, but you can't help it. There have been rides in the car where, you know, I'm coming home from a gig and my ears are ringing or whatever, so I'm trying to listen to the volume, you know, on low and be smart, and then that comes on the radio and you just have to turn it up. You can't,
Of course, yeah.
you just can't. You have to jam, you know. That's
Very
just
cool.
Bless them. That's that little snapshot of those tunes will forever be tied together, forever.
Absolutely.
In all of our minds, you know.
Oh yeah, there's been a couple instances on the radio, just very few, where they've just gone straight into You Really Got Me. And I'm just like, dude, this is like fucking sacrilege. Like,
It's kind of like
there's only been like 2 or 3 instances over, you know, my lifetime that I can remember it happening. But, you know, it always sticks out whenever you hear that. And you're like,
those
well,
two go
there's
together.
Eruption,
Like it's kind of like the We Will Rock You into We Are the Champions. Like you just hear those together on the radio.
Totally.
And then you have the opposite, excuse me, of the Zeppelin tunes, you know, Heartbreaker and Livin' Lovin' Maid. And it's like, I could really just stop at Heartbreaker. That was enough. I really wish DJs would, you know, realize those are 2 separate entities. You don't have to play the second one. The first one's fine. Hard stop.
I'm a big
That is a
Zeppelin
good
fan,
point,
so
though.
I'll take
And
both
scene.
of them. And Mr. Phillip.
Yep, same. Anything with Eruption attached to it is going to beat whatever it's up against, pretty much. And it just, and I remember hearing it when, you know, when everything's done and he's doing the tape thing and the pitch is going down and you get a moment of silence, then that fucking riff comes through.
Yeah.
Listening to it like on headphones, it's like it's his amp is the size of the Empire State Building. This the biggest
Well
sound,
said.
and it's just the guitar by itself, which is the first time, like, and doing a chord, you know, not doing a solo, you know, with unaccompanied, you know.
Totally.
They changed the key to make it the cool pull off to the A chord thing, and yeah, it's just the whole thing is just full throttle party on 11, and just never stops. Great lead. You know, learnable for a kid too. Like I was like I could actually play and I could do the tapping thing. It's like, well, wow, and that's a big deal. But yeah, just fantastic.
Well,
Then
maybe for you, slow
it
down.
goes to B. You know, it's great.
Man, you know what that is, Brandon? That's 2 for 2 Van Halen 1. That's what that is.
Okay. All right.
It's-
Well,
yeah.
it is
Those are
seem that
playing-
way.
Keeping score at home.
I'm trying to keep score. We'll see how well it goes, but I'm trying. But
Any
that's kind
votes
of
for
Well,
anybody up for breakfast? No.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I have
I'm
my
not
co-
a
I have
betting
my
man in
coffee
how
black.
this turns out or anything. But I mean, if I was, I'm not. I don't know. It could go. It could go either way.
Either way, yeah. I'm with you, Ace. It's a
That's-
tough one because I really love Van Halen too, but this is
Yeah.
you have to keep in
same.
mind that the Van Halen 1 changed everything. Like it changed everything, literally. So
Van Halen 1 it is or was the one Van Halen album I had for the duration of my entire life. I didn't have another single Van Halen record until I was in my 30s.
is that right?
Oh.
Yeah. So and if you'd asked
Is
me,
that
at
because
20,
you were
would I-
like me and you had like very forcible punk rock friends that said
Yep.
you weren't allowed to listen to? Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like
I had the same thing, but I was well into my Van Halen and Judas Priest and whatever else before somebody came along and said, that's nice. This is called, they give you a handful of like albums
Yeah.
and say,
yeah.
and then you go, oh wow, and it changes your life. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind
here's the Damned and Johnny Thunders. Fuck this long hair shit.
yeah. He's playing so fast, and they go, that doesn't matter anymore. And you're like, okay.
It's not cute.
Well, I can't play fast like that, so I'll just play like Bad Religion or something. I can play that
It's-
kind of stuff.
Same.
It's
Nice.
interesting to think too, as we're all kind of leaning toward Van Halen 1 so far on the first 2 tracks.
Well, it's only 2.
But my brain went to kind of the Zeppelin thing where it's similar. Like the first 2 Zepp albums are super heavy in your face, kind
Right.
of blur together, but they're also unique in their own right.
Yeah.
But all of the Zepp albums were totally different and unique to themselves. And you start thinking about it, in my case at least, so many of the songs blur together where you go, oh, that's on that. No, that one's on that one. That's right. Okay. And then there's
Right.
that. And it kind of the same thing happens for me with Van Halen, with the exception of Diver Down, where it's like,
Yeah.
aside from Diver Down in 1984, like, all the 1984 stuff, but Fair Warning and then the first 3 all kind of blur together, but they are their own unique pieces too. And each one has its own separate sound too. Like
Totally.
you hear this band progressing and doing its thing, but it's still uniform across the board.
I agree.
Fuck
I
yeah.
agree. What is song 3? I like I said, I did not look at anything. I was like, I'm going to go into this cold and just go by my sheer instinct of what I know.
Ain't
Well,
talking
Ace is
about-
going to vote Van Halen 1 every time because he doesn't even know Van Halen 2.
It's
No,
ain't-
I do not. Is this which one's got Sharon? No,
Yeah.
He bought Van Halen 1.
You
and
wanna know
by the
why I
time he
know
was in
Van
his
Halen
30s, he
so-
bought 3.
I know Van Halen so well now is because when I was maybe 30, I was living in a house, and my only other roommate is a drummer turned singer, and he sings for a Van Halen tribute band called Fan Halen out of LA that I named, by the way. And
Perfect.
and I started hearing him practicing DLR stuff, the early, like, everything you think of when you think of Van Halen, every day for months. And so what initially was this annoyance where I was like, shut up, is now me like, all
Yeah,
right,
of course, yeah.
dive
Play that
down.
one again.
Woo!
Yeah.
He's like, man, Dave sounds great.
Yeah, now I'm pretty well versed as a punk rocker,
So
I
it's
love
Ain't
it.
Talking About Love.
Versus Somebody Get Me a Doctor.
Oh shit.
Oof.
That's sorry.
I think this is where we're gonna have our first
Oh.
one for Van Halen too, I think. Because me personally,
Probably.
I'm fucking going Somebody Get Me a Doctor. There's no way
Yeah.
you don't take that.
Did
That
you ever
was-
see that
Yeah.
tour with Gary Sharon when Mike Anthony sang
Mike sang
that
it.
song?
No.
Yeah.
I did
He
not.
did it for a whole tour, yeah.
He
That's
sang it on
wow.
2004 Sammy reunion. He sang it on that too.
Oh, he did? Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
So who
That's
sang
great.
his part?
Boy, yeah.
The tape.
Pretty good.
Hey,
That's a good
The
point.
keyboardist backstage.
Sammy Hagar with Sammy
Yeah.
Hagar with a helium machine.
That's great.
He's got a tank. He's got a balloon in one hand and a cocktail in the other.
Yeah.
yeah.
Helium and Cavalavo.
It'll just be straight tequila. Yeah,
Sales
just-
pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Cabo Wabo helium.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's next then? Who's next?
Shit.
Who wants to take it?
I'll take it. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
go with
you
Ain't
will.
Talking About Love.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, it's funny because it's this is the funny thing about Van Halen. When you're a punk rock guitar player like me, it's like I can play the solo kind of for for Devil, and I can kind of play the solo for Ain't Talking About Love. And Ain't Talking About Love, even though it's like one of those ones that's super played out, like it's like one of those ones that, you know, I don't necessarily need to ever hear that song again in my life. I was reading in Ted Templeman's book, how he just thought it was like the perfect Van Halen song. It was like the perfect, like it said so much about the band in like 4 minutes. And I really had to give it to him. Like, I was like, you know what? I think he's right. I think he really kind of like, there's just something so perfect about that. And I think that it's really tough for me because Somebody Get Me a Doctor is one of my all-time favorite, like his guitar playing in that song is like next level. You know, all that kind of his volume swells and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to go with my first take on that though. I'm gonna stick by my what I said. I'm just gonna move on.
That's
Todd,
okay. You're wrong, but it's okay. No, I'm just
There's no wrong choice.
You're wrong.
Except the one you yeah. But go
I
ahead.
respect your opinion.
Todd,
But you're wrong.
I'm leaning into you because of our you know, estranged punk rock roots here. Is it true that Ain't Talking About Love was written for the Ramones, or is that just an urban myth?
That's,
We know.
I don't know.
That actually, it was the chorus, the two chorus chords was Eddie actually making fun of punk rock.
Oh,
That's
'cause
hilarious.
Hey, check out what I can do.
there's this
That was
urban myth
that's how
I've
it
been
was written.
there's this legend I've been hearing since I was a teenager that Ain't Talking About Love he like presented to the Ramones as this is pre first album, and they were like, oh, it's too complicated for us or something like that, but he had written it intended for the Ramones.
You know what? The funny thing about the Ramones though is that they probably would never turn it down because they were always game for kind of like, yeah, well, sure, we'll give it a shot.
No, they were like,
Um,
fuck that. We're gonna cover Surfing Bird.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was an oversight. They should have had me as their manager. I swear, they would have done it. Ain't Talking About Love. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
cool. Who's next?
Like,
I'll do it. Man, I've got to go with Doctor.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
don't blame
really
you.
hard matchup. This is
Yeah.
a
It
really
is.
difficult
It
matchup.
is.
Yeah, another Ain't Talking About Love. The intro again. The amp is just the biggest amp in the world,
Yeah.
and just the part, everything. But fucking, Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Every part of that is of my favorite Van Halen stuff. All of it. The thing before the solo, the little dum dum as hard as
I know.
fuck to get that.
Dude, yeah. As a guitarist, those volume swells are just to me are yeah.
The way he does, and the way the dun dun ding 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 and the guitar solo section, that jazz part that gets thrown in the middle is just completely out of this world. Not even the lead playing is great, but the chords, but the progression behind it is phenomenal.
Yeah, those guys. To entertain me on this, don't you feel like sometimes those guys get kind of prog rock? Like there's some moments where
Oh, yeah.
Alex just takes it into like prog rock
Yeah.
land, and I'm like, so like even like the bridge, you know, that pre-chorus for like Unchained is like dan 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 dan. Try and jam that with your friends. It's
Where's
just a mess.
Yeah, it's all in four, and it's all in
Yeah.
four, but it does not sound like it is.
Nobody ever comes on the down notes at the same time.
so weird.
No, it's always like
It's so weird. So yeah, with this one, I've got to go with Somebody Get Me.
yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the other thing about A Talk About Love that I think is really cool is the use of the phaser just in like ding 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 phaser. Wow, wow. He just uses the phaser just like on certain parts. I think that's
Actually,
so cool.
the phaser's on the whole time. He kicks the
Is it?
flanger on in addition to the phaser
That's what it is.
for that part.
That's why we got
That's
Phil here right
crazy.
now.
When
So.
it really gets like the big sound, and
That's so crazy.
I'll point out later when he does it again on Van Halen 1, uses them both together. And that's when you like
Cool.
get that really big phase crazy thing is he has them
Yeah,
both.
totally.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. We're at the either
Chris.
one of y'all take it. So
I'm just laughing because Phil is to Edward what I am to Kiss. in terms of the complete nerdiness of the details. And we, you know, myself and Paulie Simmons, who's a tremendous musician, beautiful human being, we had the pleasure of being in a Van Halen tribute years ago with Phil,
They were
the mighty Dan Halen.
Yeah.
And those were some of the most fun shows and memories of being in a band that I've ever had, because you'd go to Phil's for rehearsal and he'd be sitting in front of his amp with the pedal board, like literally dialing in the tunes, like the tones rather.
Yeah, sure.
And then we'd get to the venue and he'd find the feedback spot and make like a mark on the stage for that song and make a middle note for that song. When we played it, it sounded like fucking Van Halen in my monitor. It was stupid. And the Dave we had was tremendous. Like, but Phil was the star of the show every time, and rightfully so, and nailed it. I loved doing that.
Those were really, really fun. We played most of these songs we're talking about. I think we played most of the records. It was
all Dave era.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, for me, it's Doctor, because it encompasses, you know, Van Halen. And much to Dave's credit, you know, they were the party band and the hard rock band that you could take a chick out and you could dance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't point out, is because they look at the talent and, you know, where obviously the credit's due, but oh my God, these musicians are incredible and this and that and the other. And it's like, yeah, but you could dance to it, man. You could get down and take a chick out and dance at a club to Van Halen and have a better time, you know, later because of it.
But you couldn't find a chick at a Metallica concert in the first few hours.
No, because she's already dating somebody in the band, or trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, Doctor, it has that swing to it and that bounce, and it's still brutally heavy. The lyrics are tongue in cheek. It shows off Dave's vocal range and all this party vibe and everything. That song for me encompasses. Yeah, exactly. Get ready for the train. Woo-woo. You know, like that song for me is one of those that just, it encompasses everything that lineup and they stood for was all about. It's all encompassing, you know. There's the bounce, there's a swing, but it's straight, but it grooves. You could dance to it. There's a party, killer playing, you know, the sound was huge, everything.
You're swaying me. You're starting to sway my decision.
I honestly so like, damn good.
If you put a gun to my head, I would much rather listen to Doctor, but I have to kind of go with the other one. Just, I think because the impact that album had on me, you know, it's just the second album, of course, was like, you know, was the 1-2 punch of it all. But that for whatever reason, that first album just, it's going to get harder as we go along. This has been the first very difficult one for me. Ace, were you also Ain't Talking About Love?
I'm really torn because I think now I'm listening to everybody's TED talk here, and I'm
not Nugent. Not Nugent. Different Ted. Different Ted.
Different Ted.
I'm trying to stay out of Facebook jail, guys. Come on.
You know, I'm gonna go with my gut answer, which was Love, but I don't know. I'm really torn. I mean, Ain't Talking About Love again. It's like the first, like I said about Devil. It's like it's one of the first things that pops into my mind, regardless of how many Van Halen songs I personally love. Or
actually, that's kind of how I feel too. Is that Ain't Talking About Love is one of those songs that I immediately go, you know, it's just, you know, if you think about Van Halen, you often think about that song, but that's, everybody has a different take on this thing. You can't really be wrong.
No, I don't. This is definitely, I think, in my opinion, the first of the three. This is the third, where I'm like, there is no wrong answer.
No, it's tough.
But if I had to pick,
except Ain't Talking About Love.
Fields would disagree, but you know.
Well, I mean, somebody, what would I rather
it's his
listen to?
show.
Right? I would rather listen to somebody get me a doctor right now because I haven't heard it 8 billion times.
Somebody get me a doctor.
I mean, I've definitely heard it enough to where, you know, like I'm like, all right, I've heard that enough as well. But like, Ain't Talking About Love is like drilled into my
I know.
cerebellum or whatever. So I'm gonna go with just the sort of like blatantly on the nose one, which is Ain't Talking About Love. And he wrote it for the Ramones, damn it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
That's 3 for 2. That's 3 for 2. So that's the first break in our first album winning streak.
First
What's
one
next?
going over to that. I've got it pulled up. So it is going to be I'm the One versus Bottoms Up. Fuck.
I'm the one.
Easy.
I'm the one.
Easy. I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one.
Complete.
That
I
was-
mean, Bottoms Up is
get your
fantastic.
jollies off.
It sucks because Bottoms Up is one of my favorite fucking Van Halen tunes, but so is I'm
Really?
the One, and I'm the One fucking just edges it out.
And it's cool.
Man,
These
like-
two are kind of like the same, like swing, you know, the hyper swing.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm the One is still like, you know, I thought Eruption was cool when I heard it the first time. Then One came out. Like, I didn't know anything could be this good. I didn't know I could like something as much as I'm liking what I'm hearing right now. It's perfect.
I always
Yeah,
find
there's so
myself
many-
when I put on Van Halen 1 that when I'm picking the first track I always put on is I'm the One. That seems to be the track I always put on first when I go to that record.
Man, that thing is just the main riff, the main lick is extremely hard to get that
And-
thing to sit right.
And the harmonies.
And the harm and they're singing at the same time, and it's just the guitar stops.
And
then the
speaking of the
breakdown.
harmonies,
Goes
The
did anybody see Roth on Joe Rogan here like a week ago?
No.
I watched part of it. I didn't.
I
get
watched
to-
like the clips
He's
of
on
it.
again?
Yeah, he was just on it
Yeah,
like a week
recently.
ago.
Oh, I saw
Uh,
the old one a couple years ago.
So he was on
He's
like a
missing
week
his
ago, and it was. I mean, I can't watch 3 fucking hours of it. I'll be
No,
honest.
who
But
can? Yeah.
I can watch the like clips that Rogan posts where it's
Like the highlights.
it's like 7 to 10 minute videos. And there were some that were on, like Van Halen's early impact and,
The first
just
one was
talking
like
about
this
that.
thing.
But
The first one was Dave leaning in like, Joe, let me tell you something.
you
business is
follow?
like
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. But
Show business is
he
like-
brought up Michael Anthony and he gave props to him. He's like, you want to know what the Van Halen sound is? He's like, you go listen to Mike Anthony's vocals, and like straight up just said that in the interview. And I was like, it was just so awesome to fucking hear somebody in that band, give Michael Anthony fucking props for
Absolutely.
man. Because
I love the way
He's
I love
the
Dave-
unspoken hero of that
he
band
always
for
has
sure.
been, Yeah.
And-
I love the way I love the way
Dave.
Dave laughs at his own jokes. That's my favorite thing is when Dave just says crazy shit. And everybody's looking at him like, are we supposed to laugh now? It just he's such a character, yeah.
Feed that fix back, Roy.
So in the breakdown in Bottoms Up, Dave starts laughing. Do any of you know what Dave is laughing at?
No.
No.
No,
What
no,
is
no.
laughing?
Come on, mama, baby.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's why I was asking if any of you guys knew.
But they
I don't
both
know. I
have
wonder.
that-
I wonder
Probably
if
just
they're.
laughing
Oh, wow,
because
they
how
both have
goofy
that
it
section,
is.
don't they?
Yeah.
They both have the not bada shooby wah. They both have one of those too in there. Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty similar songs.
but he's probably just laughing because I mean
He's
I don't
just-
know,
'cause
but
he's
they were
David
probably
Lee Roth.
cutting all their vocals at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think
Would they
Probably
be
were.
just standing around? So probably just, or he's looking through the glass and somebody's making a stupid face or something, and
Got their ass
Yeah,
pressed
probably.
up
'Cause
against it.
they're just having fun at that point.
I'm
It
not
doesn't
that big.
matter.
I'm not that
I
big of a
can see
nerd. I don't know the answer to that, but
That's one that we should try and find. an
That
answer
kind of
to for
surprises
sure.
me that one of you don't know that. Honestly, I
Look
would
at
have
you,
bet,
Phil.
I would have bet money that one of you could have answered that. So yeah,
I've let you down. I'm sorry.
yeah. All right.
I'm going with I'm the one as well. So that puts me at Van Halen 1 all the way down the line so far, which is really weird. I'm
I'm
actually kind
saying
of really.
I'm going. I'm
right.
the one on this one. So as
Yeah.
what's I'm gonna say is I think everybody's on.
Bop,
I'm the one
bada,
on this
shoo-ba-doo,
one,
wah.
so all right, we'll go ahead and chalk that up.
Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-wah.
So as of right now,
Did
it
Ace
is,
chime in?
What?
Ace, did you say I'm the one? For some reason, I thought Ace
Oh, yeah.
said I'm the one.
Yeah, definitely I'm the one.
Okay, cool. My
Hey,
bad.
Phil, at the end of I'm the one, is this is my brain, am I having a senior moment here? The end of I'm the one, does he do this ascending, like hammer on, like thing?
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great
Oh,
song.
at the end of the acapella section.
Yeah, but that's in I'm the one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the
Yeah,
drums
fucking
are
fish, fucking fish,
just
fucking fish.
on that
It's
part.
it's
Yeah.
the Who. It's fiddle about. Fiddle about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fiddle about.
Because I had
Good.
that stuck in my head this afternoon, and I was like, "Oh, I got to bring that up." That's my jam. So yeah, definitely.
That's my jam. What song was that?
Yeah, I mean that's how I operate.
And the entire thing was one take until the very end. They edited in, the last big hit, right? That is for another take. That entire fucking thing is
Wow.
one pass,
That's
Wow.
insane.
except for the cadenza at the end and that. Yeah. If you listen to the soloed out guitar on YouTube, you can hear the tape edit, but
Really?
you can't hear it on the thing.
Was
but the only
was
thing
it
that's cut.
was it Miss Credenza's credenza?
Miscredenza.
Sorry, I'm just making bad jokes. I go from Van Halen to the Police.
It's required
Yeah, I was
while
gonna
you're
say.
grilling.
I'll just shut up and cook my chicken.
And
now.
say you got to make bad jokes while you're out back grilling. So it's the dad way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. So as of right now, we are 3-1. So that is Van Halen 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's
Interesting.
move on. Now we've got Jamie's Crying versus Out of Love Again, which
Out of
Mr.
Love.
Todd Kerns did an awesome cover of Out of Love Again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
recently.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Well, that just changed my opinion. Now I don't want to vote against Todd's cover.
Well, my cover's not in there yet. That was with Toshi from the Jimmy Kimmel Band. That's right. Yeah, it was like,
Wow.
Yeah, he was
Shit.
yeah.
fantastic. He killed it.
Dude, he's a huge Eddie fan, right? So he was really emotional when this all happened, when Ed passed. So he contacted all of us and he was like, "You guys want to record a song or something?" I was like, "Absolutely." It's the least we could do. And I don't have a Dave voice. I just kind of did my thing. But it was a blast. But I will have to go with Out of Love. It's my first Van Halen too. But I will say that because there's so many elements about that, like the whole like, how's that when it goes into the solo, when there's that kind of like one kick drum. Yeah. That is like one of the most dope things in rock. Like ting gong.
Well, it's like unzips pants. There it is. Ting pong. That's what that sound represents.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what it sounds like. And I love Jamie's Crying, but it's kind of one of those songs that maybe I'm already all played out on that song, but it has like, again, it's another one of those perfect examples of Van Halen being as poppy as they want to be, and they don't give a shit, and it still works. You know what I mean? But I have to give it up to Out of Love. It's just a monster. It's a ferocious tune.
That's probably where I'm headed to on this as well.
Next.
Brian,
What do you work at the DMV?
it's such a well-written
It'd be a lot slower than that. Sorry, Phil. What?
Yeah. Jamie's such a well-written song, but
It is.
if I'm going to listen to something, I'm going to put on Out of Love Again.
Totally.
Van Halen too had a lot of these. The Out of Love Again feel is such an interesting feel for any rock band to play something like that jazzy.
Really jazzy, yeah.
And really jazzy. And the guitar solo section, again, the beginning of it is the greatest thing ever. But then when you get into it, Alex and Eddie start playing together, like about in the fifth bar.
Yeah, totally.
The drums pick up with the guitar, and it's just like, they're just like this. In the
Those guys are joined at the hip.
They're joined, they shared a brain. And the playing in there is so great. The interplay with everybody's so cool. The way Michael is just going keeping that straight, not really swung eighth notes, but they're swinging their asses off. The other two guys, and then that kind of thing is perfect for Dave to scat over, and you know, that nobody else could do that
Nobody.
in the rock
No.
field.
Nope.
Not even could
No.
come
Nope.
feeling that good and to make it that groovy and lock in like that. Nobody could come fucking close.
No.
Nope.
It's amazing.
Hasn't
No, that
never
song would
never
not
did
work for
before.
anyone
Haven't
else.
since.
Yeah, just insane.
Ace, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with Out of Love again.
Don't
That
be
sort of-
afraid to go Jamie's Crying. There's no wrong answers there. Jamie's Crying is
No,
a great
he-
song.
It's
James-
actually really
you know
close
what?
for me. So.
It's pretty
Yeah.
close for me too.
too.
And Jamie's Crying is one of those Van Halen songs that, and I would keep this list incredibly short, but to me, even more so than the other like air quote hits off of the first record, Jamie's Crying is just a little played out to me. And then
Me
I was
too. It's
joking-
kind of, yeah.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
joking earlier, but like
Been there, done that.
you know, you having mentioned your cover of it, which I heard when it came out, I was like, oh my God, that's a great point. So that was the tipping point for me, bro. So you made my opinion, bro.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to have been a part of it then. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of up in the air on this one for sure, but Out of Love again for me.
All right,
Chris.
cool.
No, I mean,
Chris-
I'm the same way. You know, if it comes down to those two songs, you know, who wants
Yeah.
to sit around and listen to Jamie cry and moan? If I've got a
Cool
couple
thing about
minutes to
Jamie's-
fill with Van Halen,
Yeah.
then you know, listen
Jamie's
to the boys
Crying
go
kind of
at
has
it.
like an old 50s kind of song vibe to it or something, which I think is another example of what
Yeah.
those guys can get away with. Because Dave brings
The
something to that
harmonies are
band
great.
yeah,
That
exactly.
middle
yeah.
section, that
And
whole
the
thing.
lyric
Killer.
is really, you know, it's got a great narrative to it. He's a very underrated lyricist. I mean, that
Yeah.
we all know that about Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely Christine 16 feel on that one, I think.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's actually good.
Yeah.
That's a good
Uh,
reference. Yeah,
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
totally.
So I think that was
Pretty
I think that was-
unanimous.
Yeah.
Out
I
of
love
loves.
again.
Ooh, we got ourselves a ball game here.
I say
fellas.
that's two for Van Halen too. Yeah, it is, yeah. The comeback is strong. So, all right, moving
Comeback.
on. Now we've got Atomic Punk versus Light Up the Sky.
I can't.
Wow.
Hard. I can't.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
tough.
Ugh.
That's really tough.
Ooh.
It's funny how similar those songs are in their own kind of
Yeah.
vibe in a way.
And they
yeah.
both kick off
Yeah.
side too, right?
Side two, yeah.
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 Mm.
The thing I will say is, man, it's fucking tough between these, and I want to say Light Up the Sky. Everything in me wants to say Light Up the Sky, but
But-
man, fucking Atomic Punk. That is.
I know, yeah.
It's-
I know.
Man, I went into this today thinking I was Van Halen 2 all the way. I've always said Van Halen 2, and you know, and now it's getting into this. I'm like, fuck, have I been fucking lying to myself and everyone these fucking last, 20 years?
The
But-
deeper question is, what else are you lying to yourself about? If it's just Van Halen albums,
Oh,
Wow.
serious, some
Well, he's
serious
lying about his
reflection.
hair
I
color.
change my hair every 3 months, so you see what kind of
He's lying about his
crisis
hair
I'm-
color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
When I
attached
was
to
your
the
age,
hat. It's attached to the hat.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
yeah.
There you go.
Some serious-
When I was your age, I changed
He
my
bought
hair
that
all
at-
the
He got that from Spencer's at the mall.
It did, yeah.
time.
This is to say pops, it says poops, so it came from
Yeah,
Spencer's.
exactly.
Do you have the dirty old man walker too, or the cane with the mirror on the bottom of it?
Man, Spencer's, what a store. I remember like sneaking in there when I go to the mall with like my parents when I was like 7 or 8, because nobody wants their 7 or 8-year-old kid in Spencer's in like the early 2000s because the store is
You're looking at-
nothing. Yeah.
You're looking at
store
the
is
vivid
nothing
sex
posters
toys in there.
in the
Yeah.
back.
For a
Nothing-
mall store, yeah. That's
The
It's-
vivid posters, and you're like looking around to make sure nobody's watching you out on these bikini
Is anybody gonna
chicks.
tell this 8-year-old to stop looking at this stuff? So yeah.
Someone
And
come
look
get
where
their
it got
kid. He's
you.
holding the dildo.
It's an egg beater, literally.
Yeah.
No, but
Personal
and
massager.
look where it got you. Look where it got
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah. Now I'm sitting here with you fine gentlemen. So
But hey, your hips don't.
Yeah.
Your that spot in your back doesn't hurt anymore, does it?
No, it does
No,
not.
No, sir.
He worked out some kinks.
We
And-
all
and
know what
gained a
that
few.
massager's for, so yeah. Well, cool. So I think I've answered this one. So now we're waiting on
I'm gonna
Rest of
say
you.
Atomic Punks. I'm Atomic Punks. I've spent some time with it. I'm not really happy with myself, but I'm landing on Atomic Punks.
That's the way I am. I'm not totally happy about that answer. because
Yeah,
I-
that was
I
a
want to-
that was a Sophie's choice moment. That's what that
Yeah.
was.
All right, Ace, which one are you going with?
Oh, I gotta go Atomic Punk all the way. And admittedly, I think Light Up the Sky is probably one of maybe two songs on two that if you put a pistol to my head, I couldn't sing it to you. I can't hear it. It didn't stick out to me. And of course,
Light up the sky.
The cool thing about Light Up the
yeah,
Sky
that song. Okay.
it
Yeah,
doesn't even
great
get
song.
to that. It doesn't even get to that kind of like.
God damn it! Can I
chorus
change my answer? Fuck, no.
at the very end of the song? It goes out on that chorus. It's like the weirdest thing that it take. At the very end of the song, then you get the light up the sky, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, it's a real journey. That song. Like, it's a real. It's a real. They really crafted a nice piece there, but for whatever reason, Atomic Punks with the, Phil will know all about it,
Yeah.
but that opening thing, it's like,
Yeah, that's
you're like,
what
I
did it
don't
for
know,
me.
I don't even know what he's doing, but it's
He's just
nuts,
rubbing the strings.
Yeah.
exactly with a phaser on it.
Scratching his beard. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the guitar.
Yeah.
No, Jimmy played with his tongue and bit the string, so he's playing it with a beard.
Yeah, Todd, that's interesting. Light Up the Sky ends with the one chorus of the song.
Weird, right?
And it never comes in before that. It's pretty interesting.
No, never
I
again.
think-
Yeah.
Light Up is pretty intense. I got to go with Atomic.
Yeah.
It's just
I knew you would for the guitar playing. Yeah.
That's one of the metal songs on Van Halen 1. These are both two of them, like the heavy metal tunes. Real prog.
Totally.
Almost really, like super heavy prog, but yeah, Atomic is just complete
It's
madness. Just
I'm hating myself for my answer the more time we sit here on this.
I've been doing
It's
that
like-
this whole time.
It's like
dude.
Chris started singing that riff, and I was just like, God damn it, what am I thinking? Like,
Man, the last time I saw Van Halen in 15, they opened with Light Up the Sky.
oh
Oh
man.
shit!
I
Wow.
remember getting a text message from you while
Yeah.
you were at that show. Like, oh my god,
They just they opened with it. It's always been one of my favorites, but that one
they played Full Bug too, didn't they?
they played full
wow.
bug,
That
yeah.
show, yeah.
Whoa.
Another great song
Yeah.
off Diver Down. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough matchup, but I gotta go with Atomic. It's just
It is tough.
Incredible.
Yeah. I'm not
I-
happy
I-
about it.
Hey,
I think I'm gonna-
uh,
I think I'm gonna end up going with Atomic Punk.
that's
uh,
all of us
from-
for that. Then that's
from
5 for 5.
From the drummer's perspective, I tend to lean more toward Light Up the Sky because of the solo in the middle, and then Matt Harris, who was our Dave. I would put out 2 dummy bass drums in front of my real ones, and he'd stand on them, and we do the drum solo section in there. So
Oh, wow.
I have very
cool.
fond memories, and I can sing that drum solo note for note verbatim in my head. But I still, if I sit down at a drum set and somebody's like, man, let's play some Van Halen, if I don't kick out Hot for Teacher, it's the cymbal part at the top of Atomic Punk. Ding, 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 ding. The 2
Right,
different
right,
cymbals,
yeah.
and you still get a little bit of that Al swing solo thing in the middle. Boom, takum, kaka, tukaka, kukaka, kukaka, tutaka, tutata, boom, boom. There's like, while
Yeah.
Ed's soloing doing his thing, Al's still keeping time, but he's playing a very light drum solo underneath it. And it's
He's always
crazy
playing.
how
He's a
Well,
very
yeah.
underrated drummer because he played with a guitar player like Eddie Van Halen. but-
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know how much of some of those things, like you were talking earlier, like Unchained, the pre-chorus or the solo set, boom, ba-dum, ba-da,
Yeah.
if you try to play that, you're gonna have a bad time. Pizza, French fry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really makes me wonder how much of that stuff was just off the cuff, because I'm sure most of it was them just dicking around and it felt good, and then they just said, man, that feels good, let's do that again, rather than they sat down and go, well, we're going to play a bar of 3 here, and then we're combat it with a bar of 7, 8.
You're probably right, but I think the
Yeah.
fascinating part is that David Lee Roth, who's probably the least schooled person, went, I have a perfect melody to put over top of that. Like, I can't believe he actually like came up with like a catchy, that's just mental to me.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I would say, and for both songs, the energy level is through the roof, but
It really
just based on pure attitude and balls out in your face. It's Atomic Punk.
I'm with Brandon though. It's like, as we talk about it, I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm like tonight. I'll wake up in the middle of the night screaming. My wife will be like, "You woke up screaming, light up the sky." Light up the sky.
They're both lyrically so cool, because the opening of Light Up the Sky is some of Dave's most awesome lyrics ever. Yeah, we're all fast breakers coming out of the gates, taking chances where they crash and burn. What the fuck does that mean? Doesn't matter. Yeah, there is a way with beauty, but you never gave a love. Cross the line where none return. That's awesome.
The cool thing is the way he sings that, and then the next vocal, he goes, "No return," and then the other
I watch
vocals.
my television. Almost, They're both very cool, very kind of out there.
See, that like bridge section is why that's one of my favorite Van Halen songs. I watched my television part. That is just so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Really cool.
Open up eyes, open your eyes.
It's great. It's a very unusual song, really. Okay,
So
let's move on before you change my mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's all of us for Atomic Punk, though. And if we have to settle it, that's all 5 for Atomic Punk. So, all right, this is where I said it's going to get a little weird, where we had to, like bunch the songs together to make it 10 versus 10. So now we've got Feel Your Love Tonight versus Spanish Fly. So it's a little odd because Spanish Fly isn't a song.
It's song.
Yeah.
My brain, I know it's wrong, but my brain always thinks Spanish Flea. Like
was a little Spanish flea. An actual song. I think that's Herb Alpert or some shit.
It
Spanish
is.
flea.
Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass Band. It was
tough.
what was that? The dating game. I think. Yeah.
That's right. They use that. That's right.
Contestant number 3, come on down.
You win, David Lee Roth.
And his
bodyguard. Bodyguard. Yeah. STDs. STDs nuts.
Wow. I'm having a tough time with that because Feel Your Love is such a great, feel good Van Halen song. And Spanish Fly is just, like I said, I told a story earlier about how my father was the only Van Halen song he ever stopped and went, "What is this?" Because it was listening to somebody play an amazing, part on a classical guitar. That's really tough. I'm going to let Phil take this one because I need a moment here. Phil, convince me.
So we're not doing Spanish Fly connected to DOA. We're just doing Spanish Fly by itself. Okay. So first of all, before I have my dissertation, I got a stupid story about Spanish Fly. So when I got this album, I guess I was in like 9th, 10th grade. And I was playing guitar. I just started kind of playing guitar a year or 2 prior. And so for Spanish Fly, I would be talking to a girl on the phone and go, "Oh, hey, hang on a second. Do you want to hear something?" And I'd play the CD of Spanish.
Nice.
Like it was because it was
Good
it was
for
the
you.
guitar. It was all
Holy shit.
So
Good for you, bro.
I'd
Good
take the
for
phone
you,
back up.
Slick Rick over
I'd take
here.
the phone back up and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just kind of working on that."
Did
I
you
know what
did you
I'm
play
doing
her,
when we get done with this.
did you bust out D from Blizzard of Oz after that?
And then
That doesn't really work on Tinder.
That doesn't work anymore.
No, girls my age are like, "What the fuck is this?" So
You
yeah.
couldn't do. You could. You know,
Is that a bobcat screaming in the background? What's that?
Yeah, I used to do that with Spanish Fly.
That's hilarious.
So,
That's awesome.
man, I'm gonna have.
I want to be Phil Shouse when I grow up.
It certainly adds.
I don't think
It certainly adds to the name Spanish Fly. I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't working for me back then. I'll tell you that. Like 14 years old. I'm gonna have to go with "Feel Your Love Tonight." I love that tune so much.
Yeah.
Um,
I kind of have to go with that too. It's actually the first Van Halen song I ever played in a band because we could kind of fake our way through the solo section, and
yeah.
the harmonies were so much fun. The
Are we gonna-
breakdown. I can't wait to feel your love. I can't.
Yeah.
They always were so good at those kind of like. Yeah,
You ever
it
heard-
almost
you
has
ever
like a.
Have you heard the fuck up? Have you heard Ed fuck up on that one?
No, I don't know.
So in the section where you're talking about, where there's just the singing, when he goes da 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 da, he goes to F.
Really?
It slides up one fret pretty high. It's on the record. So
I'm gonna listen to that
I'm gonna have to
right
go,
away.
Ed owned that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go listen
Wow,
to that.
I had no idea.
It's just you barely just and it's like fuck it, we'll just leave it. 'Cause
Was it a
That's
fuck up or
hilarious.
was he a genius?
Yeah, he was playing Phrygian. When he went to
Hey,
that.
Creating
hey, it's
a
jazz.
dark move there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's jazz.
exactly.
It's cool.
Yeah.
No, he said we could fix that in Pro Tools in 30 years.
And there's going to be one asshole that figures it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thanks, Phil.
Some fucking hippies going to screw it up for everybody.
That's great. So who are we at now? Who's
Take it, Ace,
already answered?
or
I'm
Chris.
gonna say Ace or Chris. Yeah.
What was the question?
Feel
Iron
Your
Maiden
Love.
versus Slayer? What?
This would be Spanish Fly and Feel Your Love Tonight.
Feel Your Love. Spanish Flies, obviously another showcase of Edward's tremendous talent.
But we already gave him an Eruption at this point, didn't we?
Yeah.
We already
Yeah.
we gave it up for that.
We gave him Eruption. He gave us Erection.
Great.
It's all good. It all
I'm
works
sure.
out in the
Great.
end.
Absolutely.
I want a T-shirt that says Erection, but it's striped up like Frankie.
Yeah.
So if anybody watching that owns a T-shirt shop, I'll Photoshop it and send it your way. But
would be
do it in
brilliant.
the KISS font.
Super confusing.
I'll wear it on stage. It'll be great. Wolf will love that.
That's great. So Ace, you're the last
Yeah.
one.
Spanish Fly is basically just a solo acoustic guitar Spanish influence thing that
Flamenco.
played.
Yeah,
That is
flamenco.
mental. That is insane. And then Feel Your Love Tonight is a feel good
Pop song.
Van Halen song. Yeah. So it's hard to.
I'm gonna break character. I'm gonna go with Spanish Fly. Just like
Wow.
it's just
Ooh.
and I'm going with the whole like, how do I feel today? I mean, like a week ago, I probably would have said something else. But
Is this because Phil phoned you and told you he was practicing that and then played the CD?
he told me he was doing a recording.
He's gonna
of it.
impress some chicks later on MySpace.
Yeah, on his live journal.
In his time machine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to break it up for me because there's such just two completely, it's like
They really
apples and
are.
oranges. And
They really are.
man, the harmonies and Feel Your Love Tonight. I mean, I can't wait. The whole thing's just fantastic. But
It is.
I'm going with Spanish
Fantastic.
Fly. I like some pretty
Fantastic.
some melodious notes.
Yeah,
I like it.
I've got to go Feel Your Love Tonight, but if we're talking about Eddie's guitar playing, Spanish Fly is one of his, if he's showcasing his
Yeah.
talent, that's got to be like top 3 of anything you can pick out of their catalog. That is, and I don't want to, if you're putting that and Eruption side by side, I'm going to say that it would be 10 times as fucking hard to try and learn Spanish Fly note for note than it would be.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with
Probably.
that.
Especially if you were
Yeah.
doing it properly on a classical nylon guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm not
with
even.
that
You know
with
what?
the- with
I'll
the-
tell you straight up.
the
I'll tell you
bow
straight up,
down
I'm not even
fretboard.
going to try. I'm not even. Gonna
Just don't. You've seen enough of that one.
You've seen enough of that one. Yeah. Still got the old tagger on it.
I did forget
Go- yeah, check it.
I did forget to mention that Feel Your Love Tonight has my name in it, so I have to go with that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait to
True.
feel your love it tonight.
Feel Your Love. That's right. I like
Funny, that didn't work for me either in 8th grade. So
No. See, it's because you got it wrong. It's to fill your love in, as in you're going to fill up her love.
There you
That's
go.
where you screwed up. I can't wait to feel your love in tonight.
Never worked in college, so she never worked in.
You
That's
might have gotten
great.
further with like in 8th grade. I don't know, maybe like Vanilla Ice. I'm trying to think what was happening back in 8th grade for young
Yeah,
hip
that
girls.
was in there. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
88. Yeah.
New
Kids
yeah,
on the
yeah,
Block.
New Kids, something like that. Then the girls would have been really into you. Yeah.
19.
More than
Van
words.
Halen
More
maybe
than
was-
words. More than words was doing okay.
There
To
you
Be
go.
With You
There
was-
you go.
You know, was one of the two.
Yeah. There you go. What's
Well, cool.
next? This is brutal. I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm enjoying your company.
Brutal. Yes.
Choosing these songs is
Yeah,
hard.
it's like having to pick
It
your
is
favorite
difficult.
kid. Yeah.
I know.
Oh, that's
Well, that's
easy.
easy. I'm just
I'll
kidding.
take the musician every time.
We all say it's hard, but you know, there's
Yeah.
one. Yeah. No.
I'm gonna take the doctor.
Yeah, exactly. The lawyer.
Pay for my retirement.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So now we'll have Little Dreamer versus DOA.
Little Dreamer.
And Little
Little
Dreamer.
Dreamer.
Okay, right off the bat. Ace
Little
is taking
Dreamer.
that.
Little Dreamer.
Taking that one too.
Period.
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take DOA. DOA might be my favorite Van Halen song.
Wow.
Like if I had to choose out of the Roth era, DOA might be my favorite Van Halen song. Just man, I love Roth's lyrics in that, broken down and dirty, dressed in rags. The whole fucking lyrics are just, you know, awesome.
Well, it's a
as
true
fuck in
story
that
from the
song.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and
And he
I love the
wasn't
riff.
broke,
So
I'm gonna go DOA as well. It's a hard
So-
one. I
so
do-
Todd's
It's
got
a
the
hard one, yeah.
tiebreaker. Todd's the
Are you ready for
tiebreaker.
this? DOA.
Okay.
He's going Van Halen too.
We started to lose connection,
was
but you're
hard.
coming in strong now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
That was really hard, but yeah, no, I think DOA wins because, well, I don't know. I gotta hand it to you. I think you're right. It has a lot of great moments in it that makes it win. Although it's interesting because Little Dreamer is kind of one of the only sort of like mid-tempo-y slow type songs that they kind of on either of those albums really like as far as almost a ballad.
Yeah.
But
A
I'm
Little
going
Dreamer is great. I'm not taking anything away
Yeah.
from that track. It was actually one of the first Van Halen riffs I ever learned how to play because they had it in
Damn.
they used to have a subscription to Guitar World and they'd have 5 songs tabbed out in each issue, and Little Dreamer wasn't an issue that I got when I like first got my subscription. So that was one of the first
Wow.
Van Halen riffs I ever learned how to play. And
Yeah,
it's one of
it
the
gets
easier
hard.
ones. So.
It's playing Little Dreamer. It's just that's just so cool. It's just
It
so
is, yeah.
it's perfect for the feel, but man, I don't know, from the beginning, the intro to DOA, like you're hooked.
I know.
It's so awesome.
All
And
right,
it's
so
funny,
that one's going Van Halen too.
DOA doesn't stand for dead or alive. It stands for dead on arrival. But actually, they got that part wrong. But
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's Roth. He can. It's
Well, I mean,
it's.
Maybe it just didn't sound right. Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. It could have worked, but
yeah.
you know,
That's great. All right, we're
that's
down
just
to
nitpicking, isn't it?
we're down to the
Nitpick,
last 2 songs right now. So do you guys want to know the score, or do you want to keep going and not
Keep
let
going.
that affect
Keep
these last
going.
2?
Pretty
All right.
sure we know the score, but
It might be closer than you think.
Get kind
all I know is this
Stretch.
is what's happening right now. Look at that shit.
Yeah, I know. I see that, and I'm
Boom.
fucking jealous. It's-
Yeah,
I'm
baby.
hungry.
Wow.
Ah,
making me
and
hungry,
that
bro.
smoking like
Yeah.
a chimney.
That's
Boom.
Nice. All right, so
Who's
It
going to
only gets harder
McDonald's
from here.
later?
we got Ice Cream Man versus Women in Love.
Ice
Who wants to
cream.
take it first?
Ice cream
Okay.
man.
Sorry. Just jumping
I-
out there, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, I think you should. I think you have to go with your gut sometimes. I think Ice Cream Man, yeah, because I think Ice Cream Man is such a signature track.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like one of those ones that you can't help but be like, you know, again, it's super played out for me. And Women in Love is an amazing song. But I'm gonna go with Ice Cream Man.
That's like quintessential
funny
David
story
Lee
about it.
Roth.
I got a funny story for you. When we were in high school, we had a high school band, and before I joined the band, the guitar player was telling me a story of how one of his most embarrassing moments is he stood on stage and he sang "Ice Cream Man," you know, by himself. and he's like, "All right, boys, we gotta be." You just did that part, and no one else was on stage. Like they'd all walked off.
There's no other
band. And he goes, "Well, yeah, just sings the whole thing, and then he goes, 'All right, boys, we gotta be." And he had to finish out the whole song by himself, but it was kind of like,
no.
And the chicks, and the chicks are looking at him like, did he just say boys?
yeah.
He was cool, but
He's singing this song to only singing this song to the boys, apparently. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
apparently, come on, boys.
Philip,
It's like there's no one here.
Women in
Love?
Love. Women in Love
Yeah.
for me.
yeah,
That's
I don't blame you.
It's yeah, I love Ice Cream Man. It's so killer.
Yeah,
And the solo is fucking gnarly.
Solo's phenomenal. Has the crazy wide stretch, the
Yeah.
12 to 9
Yeah.
stretch thing, and but no, Women in Love for me is one of my favorite, like composition wise.
Wait a second. Women in Love starts with the tapping, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, I've changed my answer
But the way
officially.
yeah,
no, that really is.
Well, that's
that
good
is a
because I
very-
was bummed out
so
that
good.
was going to lose because I'm going Women in Love, and I was like, "Fuck, that's 2-3," so we lost.
It's a
But
quintessential Eddie Van Halen intro. Like when you talk about Eddie Van Halen, that song comes up because of the.
Well, in
that whole
the
thing is-
solo, in his live solos, he would sneak all those little pieces in there throughout the years,
Right.
and that one was always in there.
man, I'm taking it less for Ed and more for Dave. That is one of my favorite Dave songs. Like,
One of the
The-
few
the
where he
lyrics are-
actually sings.
yeah, the lyrics are fucking great. The melodies are great, and he sounds just fucking awesome in it. So it's got to be Women in Love for me. So if you're changing your answer, it's now shifted to Van Halen too for this one. So
Honey, leave me alone, or maybe just stay the night.
great.
It's a love song, but it's a temporary overnight love song.
It's a really light 4 on the floor too. It's like it's
Yeah.
It is, yeah, yeah.
Very, very chill. It's a great
Yeah,
feel.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So good.
And Al does that little snare drum fill in the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sexy. Yeah.
Drops the
Yeah.
crash on the one. That's pretty great.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
No, it's a great song.
all right, we're down to the last track then. So tracks. So and
I already know my answer for this one, but go ahead.
and I think this has been a lot more close than everybody's thinking going into this. So,
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
This is actually a big answer. So this is gonna make or break everything right here. So
Probably gonna break it.
we've got On Fire versus Beautiful Girls. So I'll go ahead and take it on this. I fucking love Beautiful Girls, and that's great, but there's no fucking way it's not On Fire. Like,
Nope.
like-
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
On Fire is one of the heaviest songs I've ever. I had to cover it again with Toshi and those guys, and it was like trying to do that high harmony that Michael sings. It's bananas, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
That run.
It is again, Beautiful Girls is an amazing song, really. Like, it's just a quintessential song, but On Fire is just, it's impossible for me to not choose that song.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite parts of the Van Halen tribute show that you guys did at the basement was when Chris came out and did the backups for On Fire, when you came out from the side of the stage.
That was only
did
on the
the,
second show, I think.
Well, I wasn't at the first one, so it would have.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was when you came out and did that. I was like, this is the best part of the fucking show right here.
Yeah, Paulie came up to me right before they went on for their set, and he's like, "Hey, man, we heard you during the first show. You want to come up and do those sweep ups and the high horn?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do. Let's go."
That's
Because
awesome.
I couldn't sing with Dan Halen because Alex didn't sing.
That's right. Yeah.
That's awesome. And while we're on that, you guys did an awesome job putting that together and putting on a great show that night. I was
That
super
was all
fucking
Phil.
happy that I came down. So
Yeah, that was
Phil,
fantastic.
Good
Oh,
to
yeah.
see you.
That was all Phil.
Yeah, it was a good. I think that's my last show to ever organize. I'm retiring from. was a
I
good
tell
one.
you,
That was a good one,
Charlie,
too.
the guy that was singing the Sammy stuff, Jesus,
Oh
that
my
guy's
God.
voice was.
He's insane.
He was great.
Yeah. I literally after that show that night, I was like recontemplating my entire thoughts on, the Sammy Hagar era. I was like, I think that guy literally
Yeah.
just turned me into a Sammy Hagar fan just
Yeah,
from
basically.
watching that set. That was intense. I was like, Jesus, this is great.
Yeah, Paulie. So the guys that played on Fire at the show was Paulie Simmons and his brother Mike is the guitar player. So they had the kind of Van Halen thing, and their brother Jamie passed away a few years ago. He was the bass player. They had their trio.
Oh, wow.
But Paulie and Mike are kind of the Ed and Al of Nashville.
Which
And-
Paul
Wow.
And
played
they-
drums on She with you guys with Ace.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And
Something
they,
wrong,
they
whatever.
and they have a band with him that I think, isn't that how he got kind of roped into all the
Yeah.
like the Sammy era?
Yep. Yep.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a great
he
show, and that guy
slayed it.
kicked ass.
And Mike
That was great.
And
So
that
who-
solo in On Fire makes no musical sense.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna throw that with? It's just So I heard that I forgot who, maybe it was a Templeman suggestion in the studio, but they told Ed for this solo, it's like something like John McLaughlin.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's like, okay, is this something like that? He would just he made the pattern thing.
Wow.
So
That's
I
right.
heard that was like on a demo because the solo is the same on the demos when you listen to this
Right.
earlier versions. So I think when they were
Okay.
doing that with Ted or whatever they were working on stuff, that was where that kind of came from. So
Yeah.
somewhere.
I never thought of that. Yeah, that solo is bananas. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Makes no musical sense at all, but it's awesome. It's so
that
great.
that run up at the end of it.
Yeah,
It's like,
And then the woo at the end of it. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, right.
That's one of the most iconic parts of the solo is David Lee Roth coming in with the woo.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wouldn't disagree. Yeah.
Ace,
Um,
I'd assume with you holding that, you're going. Sorry, Todd, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I was about to rattle his cage as well. 'cause
Yeah. I'd say
Uh-huh.
I'd assume you're going on fire with this, right?
Has everybody chimed in already?
Pretty
I
much.
think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm going
No,
beautiful
no
girls.
pressure, man. It's all on you.
Are you really going beautiful girls? Really?
I'm going beautiful girls.
Oh, wow.
Man, I love
Okay.
On Fire, but again, it's like for me, like most music, it's like a mood thing, and I want it right now. I want to hear, well, yeah, beautiful girls. I
Yeah.
want to hear
Zidabop.
that.
Zip-it-a-bop.
That's
Yeah.
definitely
Booze
one of the
the back,
songs where
booze the
like
back.
Dave's being Dave is beautiful girls. That's a Dave tune to me because if
It
you know,
really is. Yeah,
it's just a party song, man.
it really is. Yeah. Do you ever remember the old SNL sketch called Schmidt Gay?
Yes,
Where-
that was the song.
Adam
And they
Sandler, and
played-
Chris Farley, right?
yeah. And they played, the song was back then "Beautiful Girls" by Van Halen. Now, if you watch it, they of course couldn't retain the rights for that song.
I was
so
say
it's
I've
something
seen that,
else.
and I've seen that sketch a billion times, and I've never heard Van Halen.
Yeah,
So
It
it
was only-
originally was.
Yep.
It originally was "Beautiful Girls." Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
which doesn't make any sense because it's all like dudes.
What a great sketch, though.
I think we're gonna enjoy House City.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He goes, they're massaging those. Yeah.
Oh man, good call on that. I forgot all about that. That was a great sketch.
Yeah. I always think of that. Like it's like so weird that they use "Beautiful Girls" by Van Halen for that one sketch. But there you go. Well, so have you tallied any of this? Do you know what?
Yeah,
have
I've got tallies for everything. So
Chris, did
that's
you
why I
already say? What did you say for this one? Did you say on fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
let's see. I think Ace was the only one that went.
Yeah, I was
beautiful
going
girls
Yeah.
on
with
this.
beautiful girls.
So
I
we'll go
appreciate
ahead
that.
and,
I appreciate the rogue answer. It's good.
Yeah, I'm good at
It's
that.
tough. There's no wrong answers on this thing because they're all. It's two bitchin' albums that you're like trying to like.
Totally. I
decide.
felt like there was
It's-
maybe like two pairings where I felt like the scale was really heavily weighted, and then the rest of them were pretty, 60-40,
Yeah.
50-50.
Pretty
I
much,
mean, like
yeah.
the opening, there's nothing that's going to be running with the devil is the opener. That's, I mean, unless
Right,
we throw
right.
in like Mean Street, then maybe. But
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah.
so, all right, if y'all are ready for the tallies, it was a lot closer. That's why I said that
Tally
last
ho.
answer was a big deal. So we had Van Halen 1 winning, but it only won 6-4. So
Wow.
if
Wow.
we don't,
Wow.
if we'd have taken that last answer, Van Halen 2, it would have tied. That's why I was like, it's gonna
Wow.
make or break this. So it was a
Alright.
lot. When I'm not gonna lie, when we first started, I was like, "Fuck, Van Halen 1's about to clean the board." I was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna take it all," and then it started evening it out after that. So
It's
I mean,
tough though, because like anybody, I think, it depends on the day. All those albums win. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Yeah.
depends on the day.
Yeah.
I want to hear this one or that one or that one or that one. So I'm only kind of trying to be partial to my own personal reaction to that album, those albums when I was a kid hearing them, and even where they sit with me now, you know what I mean? And the first one just has such an impact. And in all honesty, it's not even my favorite Van Halen album. It's just sort of like, it just has this sort of resonance of the impact it had on, in a global sense of what, it was as if when that first album came out, everybody must have stopped and just went like, whoa, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Including like
Pretty sure
Tony
they did.
Iommi and like Richie Blackmore. Any guitar player on the
Yeah.
planet must just went like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Who's this kid from
Yeah.
Pasadena?
Yeah, yeah.
And
What
what
is
is he
funny,
playing?
they all have like the same story of like when they heard it. If you read any of their books, like read Slash's book, and he talks about hearing eruption, he's the same thing. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" So I mean, it's like it's crazy how Universal, that same reaction to that musical piece at the time was. It shows what a fucking monster Ed was.
Without
totally.
without spending more than 30 seconds on why, what is everyone's single favorite Van Halen record?
Fair warning.
Mine is Women and Children First, and I'll tell you why. Because I mentioned it to these guys earlier. Because when I was a kid, I actually took my allowance and went down and bought, a Van Halen album, and that was the one that I picked up and went like, I guess this is,
That's the one.
I'd heard the first two, like my friends
That's
had
great.
Van Halen 1 and 2, and we listened to them, but this was the one that I took home and really like, I felt that sort of like,
Yeah, that was
okay,
your
this is
album.
100%, and it's still like that to this day. And even though it's a very unusual album, it's a really heavy and like it doesn't have a whole lot of like you could tell they're not playing ball, like we need to write a single, or any of that kind of. It just kind of has this, from the beginning with like Cradle Will Rock. It's like it's just full on, and then it's full of all that Dave shit of the. Have you seen Junior's grades? And and in the next song, it's like all that other stuff. And
What the fuck?
I like
I'll
the way
pay
the
you for it.
line runs down the back of all that stuff. You're like, it's so full of that stuff that and it has all those, could this be magic? All those sort of, every album always has multiple layers and multiple flavors within it. So for whatever reason, that one and Fair Warning is a pretty big deal to me too. Those four albums to me in a lot of ways they're always kind of neck and neck as far as like, depending on what mood you're in.
Yeah, understood.
Mine's probably Van Halen 2, oddly enough, even though I picked a lot of Van Halen 1 songs as a whole, as a collection. Like, for some reason, I don't know, I tend to listen to that one the most.
Sure. Yeah. Somebody
That's where I
give me
am.
a
I'm taking Van Halen too. And I was the same way. I felt the same way because I was taking a lot of those Van Halen 1 songs. But if I have to pick a single Van Halen record, 2 is always the one I go to first.
Wow.
It's a bitchin' record, yeah.
Fair
And
warning.
one for Ace. Ace is Fair Warning, yeah. I mean, Fair Warning is such a great album.
If
If
it's
I'm
not
gonna-
Van Halen 2, it's Fair Warning.
If I'm gonna listen to like any day of the week, if I'm like in Van Halen party mode and I don't tell the smart speaker or whatever to shuffle Van Halen, then it's always Fair Warning. Like whether it's in the car, on the phone, on the turntable, it's just that's my Van Halen record. And
there's just so much good shit on that record.
It doesn't have all the hits. It doesn't have.
I think that's what I like
awesomeness
about
that
it.
The first two did, but it has this dark thing and this energy to it that I always go to that record. I mean, and it's got dirty movies on it, which is pretty
and
damn
I was
sweet.
about to say probably my favorite part of the entire evening at the Van Halen tribute was when you guys did Dirty Movies. That was
Yeah.
fucking awesome. That was
Take
yeah,
it off.
it just sounded
I've
so fucking
only-
good out front.
I've
man.
only gotten to play that song live twice, and you saw one of the two times.
Dude,
The other
it sounded
time
so good.
was at a residency with Todd as well.
Yeah.
It's just
That's-
I
It has
love
slide
that
guitar
damn
on it,
song.
which is an oddball thing for Van Halen to have a slide over to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally,
that
Totally,
was
yeah, that's weird.
fucking awesome. Good. So good job on that. That was
Thank you.
that was definitely my favorite part of the fucking night.
And
was
I get to
hearing
use octobans too, those little 6-inch tube toms. Boop, boom, 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 sk-tack, t-t-toom, bzack, t-toom. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
Al
that
sure liked
groove.
weird. Al sure liked unusual drums. I mean, remember when he had Simmons pads for a while?
He's got to
Yep.
stand out behind
Well, that
that
was for a
somehow.
long
dude. Come on.
time.
Like,
Yeah, he
He
had
did
that for
that.
a while. Yeah.
He had Simmons pads from 84 all the way up until I think the Fuck record. I think
Wow.
that's when he went back to real drums. That was the one with Pound Cake, right?
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's when he started playing real drums again, because he
Yeah.
had those chrome Ludwigs with one rack tom and one bass drum. He had a Bonham set up.
Everybody had Simmons toms for a while. Eric Carr
Yeah.
and all those guys. It was
Well,
kind
the
of a thing.
Simmons, oddly enough, the Simmons drums and the Roto toms for 84 came from trying to get a decent sound at Ed's place.
Oh,
and
I see.
with big toms in that smaller space and the room mics, it wasn't working. But the Roto
Oh,
toms
interesting.
and the Simmons pads, they could just do it, and that's
Oh,
kind of
interesting. Wow.
why that followed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, this was a lot of fun, fellas. I appreciate
It
you
was.
coming and
Yeah. Thanks
Hanging
for
out.
coming.
My
Uh,
pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
it
Nice
was
to see everybody.
yeah, absolutely.
You too. Let's keep in
Hopefully-
touch.
Back.
I'll have my
Yeah.
people call your people.
Yeah,
We'll do lunch.
exactly, yeah.
We'll do lunch, babe.
I
It
have
is
Phil
babe,
Shouse for
right?
you.
Yeah. Hey,
I
so
act
before we
as
get out of
Phil's-
here, we'll just let everybody kind of plug what we're kind of doing right now. So, Phil, what do you got coming
I'm
up
gonna-
right now? Or Todd, go ahead.
I'm gonna be appearing on Brandon's show talking about Van Halen tonight. So tune in
Nice.
for that.
Yeah. I'm busy.
Rewind 2
busy.
hours and tune in for that. No, go for it, Phil.
Got accept shows coming up in early July.
Exciting.
And Ace Frehley and Alice Cooper are coming to your town if you live in the Midwest or East Coast.
That's
this
so
fall.
exciting.
So
Physical tickets.
oh, you're right.
Wow.
Digital stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
Physical.
So yeah, fun stuff.
That's great. You got way more going on your plate than I do. It's the funniest thing because it felt like the world was like completely frozen, and then it's like now we're gonna baby steps everything. Except they didn't baby steps anything. It just suddenly was like
Floodgates.
Alice
Yeah.
Cooper and Ace Frehley dates. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So I'm like booked in studio stuff for the next like 2 months, just kind of like locked down, like just doing stuff. I do like a podcast thing every Thursday, Took Talk every Tuesday. Took's doing a show in Canada, if we can cross the fucking border, that is, in August. But
Nice.
other than that, I really don't have anything on my plate. The original Sin, I had a band called the Sin City Sinners in Vegas we started it in 2007. And we call it the original Sin now, but we were supposed to do a 10th anniversary of this record we put out last year, and it got postponed. So now we're at like 11 and a half years anniversary of that record. So it's kind of like that'll happen sometime in the fall, hopefully. And then we'll, so it's very sort of loose. And, I've made like 4 or 5 records this year, including Minefield with the handsome and talented Brandon Fields,
Which
now
is
available on vinyl.
fantastic.
Thank
You
you.
guys.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you. That was really
fantastic.
fun. It's really fun. And then, beyond that, I don't have any, beyond that, no shows. I'll probably guitar teching for Philip Shouse later this probably. That'll be
I've
great.
You're
already
gonna have to
called that.
Rochambeau for it, bro.
We'll be cabin mates.
You'll win because I haven't changed my own strings in a long time.
Same.
We'll be cabin mates on the Kiss cruise.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
be doing
I'll be
that.
like
Perfect.
I'll be like trying to tune your. It'll be just a disaster. I'm gonna fire myself before I even get hired.
Save me the trouble. Thank you. I don't
Yeah,
want-
exactly. Yeah,
Thank you.
because you're too
Jeez.
nice to fire me. You just kind of have me around.
I can't take
It's
complications.
Todd. We love Todd. We'll keep him around.
It's because you're
I
so
assume
tall,
Chris has a
man.
lot of. Well, there you go.
I think
I
the
assume
guitar
Chris
tech
has a lot of the
can
same
sing really
stuff
well.
going. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think he
Yeah.
can sing
No.
good. Let's have him sing.
Yeah. I'll just sing back. Give me a headset back there while I'm changing strings. Yeah. I assume Chris has a lot of the same stuff as Phil has going on.
Yeah,
yes?
I've got some stuff coming up on my plate right now. Actually, this is
Oh, that
this
looks
has a
good.
little bit
Oh,
longer
there
to
you
go.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh,
That's
that
a
looks
different kind of plate.
Amen. No, so yeah, I'm doing we've got a handful of accept shows coming up, as Mr. Shouse said, and then I don't know if I can say who yet or not, so I won't. But I have a fall tour coming up in, I think, starting September through mid-November, maybe.
Exciting.
Those were the dates, so that'll be cool.
Very
It'll be
exciting.
nice to
You
tour.
play
And then
drums for
other than
Alice
that,
Cooper? No, I'm just-
no, shit, I wish. That is, on the record, that's my dream gig. Everybody
Okay.
thinks, oh
Really?
man, Kiss would be the dream gig. No, Alice Cooper. I
Huh.
would love, 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 love to play drums for Alice Cooper.
There
The
you go. Watch
songs, the
out, Glenn.
theatrics, everything.
Yeah, watch out.
Coming
That'd be a
for you,
fun
dude.
gig, Yeah.
Watch, watch your,
Cooper's in my
watch your
top 3 dream
joints.
gigs too.
Watch your ankles and your wrists, bruh.
should-
I'll have
you should-
my people contact your people.
The first
You should
episode
pull on,
Blabbermouth
like,
covers.
You should
Glenn's
pull on
great.
Tanya Harding, Glenn Sobel. It's like Jeff Galooly, that knee. Just boom.
Wow.
Tanya,
Absolutely.
Why?
Tanya Williams and
Kerrigan.
Nancy Sobel.
That's great.
All right,
So,
I'm gonna go. I'm starving, so I'm gonna go.
And then
Oh,
then
get
you
out of
got-
here. Nice to see you,
There
Todd.
you go.
Hey, I like the puppy.
This is
Yeah,
He's a
Milo.
good puppy.
Oh,
That's
that's
Rufus in the background.
What'd you say that
Oh,
dog's name
gorgeous.
was?
The brown boy is Rufus, and this one on my lap is Mila.
Oh, okay.
love it.
wow, gorgeous.
Oh,
Well,
Okay,
real
you
quick
guys.
before we're done, Ace,
Oh, go ahead.
plug.
Oh no, Todd, get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. I
No,
don't know.
I want to hear
I've
what
got
Ace has going on.
a lot of dog stuff. I think I got 6 or 7 or 8 things coming out this year that I'm on. I got a new LA Guns live record next month.
Oh.
The Cocked and Loaded album live, and then a studio album in the fall. I
Nice.
just played on the new Faster Pussycat single that just came out. I'm on the
Cool.
new Tiffany album that's coming out, I think, later this year.
Amazing.
I think we're alone now, Tiffany. And I'm trying to just bang through this real quick. A couple guest things. I've just been working from home a lot. I focus on I got a Patreon that's been doing really well. So I've been kind of keeping busy
Great.
with that. I put out an album in the fall with my sort of electronic rock band called Neon Coven. We're working on some new stuff. And what else?
Now I feel lazy.
Well, hey, I know that 3 of us.
I put out a record last January.
I've got between January of last year and December of this year, I'll have more albums come out or stuff I'm on at
This
least
January.
than I have in probably 5 years prior. So it's been a busy,
Isn't that
been a bit-
crazy? Yeah, I know.
a busy 18 months, and I stay busy at all the dog stuff I do. So, I always say like adopt or foster a rescue dog. I'm actually going
Yeah.
tomorrow to pick up another dog as I take for a play date while we're looking for a foster or rescue. So
Oh,
there's
that's
constantly
awesome.
something going on.
Oh,
And
buddy.
I do voiceover work on the side too. So I've been doing a lot of VO stuff. So if anyone needs any voiceover work, hit me up. That's it.
That's
I'm out.
great.
Very cool.
You have a
And
great voice for it.
I know,
My mom always said I have a face for radio.
Well, I don't know if Todd's going to be there, and I don't know if Chris is going to be there, but I know myself, Phil, and Ace are all going to be at Rockin' Pod this year in Nashville.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So now we just got to get Todd to come, and
Let's
we'll
get
all
Todd
be there.
down there.
So, yeah,
Todd,
I'd
damn it.
love to. I would love to.
We
I'll,
gotta be blessed.
you can.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
You can
I don't know
sneak
what
in.
that is or when it is, but I'll figure it out.
It's a
It's,
convention. It's just a
it's all
bunch of
details,
musicians and
details.
podcasters and comedians.
It's
and
just this
stuff.
really badass thing. So you know,
Chris
that
might
sounds
even
fun.
be watching this right now.
There's
That's
probably
nice.
Chris
Todd, there's
Sinzak,
probably
if
like-
you're watching, or Aaron.
I'd say
Hit 'em
Chris
up.
and Ron might be watching right
they might
now.
be
So,
watching. I'd say there's probably a solid 30 plus people that are appearing that or something like at least a good 20.
Beautiful.
It's going to be a fun
Brilliant.
weekend.
August 6th through 8th in
Sounds
Nashville.
exciting.
So get your
Great.
tickets for it, and
Ooh, yeah.
go get your Minefield merch, your
Minefield.
CDs,
Ooh,
You must.
boom.
and your
You
vinyl.
must.
We got the vinyl now, so you got to go get one of these fucking things. So.
Laser
I'll
disc.
get-
There's a
Yeah.
laser
Hey,
disc.
are you bringing those?
Laser
Are
disc.
you bringing those to the show, Brandon?
What's
Are
a
you-
Rockin' Pod?
Yeah, the LPs.
Yes, I will have a bunch of Monfield stuff with me at Rockin' Pod. That's the
Right
plan.
on.
So
I will
I'll be
bring
able
some
to.
cash.
Oh, we can work out something. I'll just bring my.
I'll trade
Accept-
you a pair of drumsticks.
I'll bring you my accept record that I got Phil to sign that I still need your signature on. We'll just work out something like that. So.
All right. I'll sell you my signature for a copy of your record.
Nice. Cool.
Sounds
I mean,
real good when you put it that way, doesn't it?
Value is value. That's all that matters. So that is.
Hey man, my guitar picks that I've thrown out to audiences for free have gone for like $40 on eBay, which is cool.
Shit.
I make
That's
guitar
amazing.
picks, but you know the best thing about these were they weren't even guitar picks that I knew I had made because I didn't.
Really? Bootleg guitar picks?
Bootleg
That's
guitar
amazing.
picks.
For
Some
the
people
drummer.
I've had a couple people send me messages and they're like, "Hey man, I haven't seen these before. What tour did you use them?" And I go, "That's because I didn't make those. Those are fake."
You got to start bootlegging the bootleg guitar picks and sell them yourself.
Right?
On the
Is that a
DL.
thing? I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
great.
That's when
Yeah.
it was like, that's when I go, I really need to trademark my logo.
Apparently,
to do that.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Very
Gentlemen,
cool.
it's been a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
Keep in touch.
Yeah. Appreciate
Absolutely.
everybody tuning in tonight. So it's
Yeah,
been a lot of fun.
absolutely.
Very cool.
Nice to
Big
see
love,
everybody.
y'all. Big
Good
love.
seeing everybody.
Much love.
Cheers, everybody. Stay safe.
Take care. Cheers.